Three guys in the birthday bubble.
Listen, we're in week 15. It's like
yeah, the effort's really coming down. I just always wanted to see how Rob would react.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. It was quite a curveball. I appreciate that.
Yes,
it's good
and
to keep me on my
Rob.
toes.
Yes, and
exactly. That's exactly right.
Well, it is week 15. What's up? How you doing? It's
Pretty
Christmas week.
Well, it's week 16.
Or yeah, I guess week 16. 15 to 16.
15 to 16.
Yeah. It's just a lot of fun for everybody right now.
Yeah, I mean, you guys. Hey,
everyone's having fun.
I'm a fan of the Chiefs. Remember, I've always been
that's right.
since the beginning of the podcast.
As your joke?
Yeah.
Consider like the 49ers or the
I mean, I don't care. Literally any other team. I would almost be a Panthers fan right now. Frankly.
Yeah, I mean, they've at least got like a
they
quarterback.
Won.
They won. Yeah.
Do they have a quarterback?
Well, they might.
But maybe, yeah.
Dude, I'm about to pick the Panthers this week. He's playing against Joe Barry. He's gonna look like CJ Stroud out there. Well, we have some news here. First, Keaton Mitchell, Baltimore's promising running back, has torn his ACL.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. CJ Stroud remains in concussion protocol.
Really, still?
Yeah.
Yeah, a big one.
Intense.
It must have been. Although I will say, I hit my head on a kitchen counter. It took me out for a while. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, probably 1 week for concussion recovery is probably not good.
Yeah.
Normally would be my guess.
Well, with mine, a lot of it they said can cause it was like neck issues, which as somebody with bad posture and neck issues, they're like a lot of lingering concussion stuff is like from the whiplash aspect of it. So they're like a lot of times if you get a concussion and whiplash, people will always have similar symptoms with whiplash. So they're like a lot of times they just got to treat that. So it checked out. I'm better now, though.
CJ Stroud's got whiplash.
Yeah. What I'm saying is me and CJ Stroud are pretty similar.
Right, yeah. Basically the same guy,
Yeah.
He's only like, 10 years younger than you and like 100 times as wealthy?
Yeah. Pretty much. 12 years younger, actually.
Right.
That's neat. Robert Saleh said that Zach Wilson will be the starter once he's through concussion protocol. Although it doesn't matter who's the starter for the Jets, really.
No, it's over. I mean, it's very much over. We're actually statistically eliminated this week. So
you are. And that's why Aaron Rodgers also said that he's not going to come back this year.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Who could have seen this coming?
Well, I mean, in fairness, there was that we missed that news story, but he did come out and say that like if the Jets are in playoff contention, then he'd come back after Miami.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever was gonna. I think he knew they wouldn't. I think he was so pompously confident that they were going to lose that like
I mean,
I
don't
got
know.
a little worried when they started winning. He's sort of like, uh-oh.
I think if we still had some like if we had won that week, we would still have about like a 10% chance to make it to the playoffs, which isn't bad, really, all things considered. You know, that's like, you know,
1 in 10.
Guess a number between 1 and 10, right? So
4.
I didn't think of one, so you're right. You're correct.
Wow, the Jets would have made the playoffs.
Yeah, see. But yeah, no, but I think now he's like, yeah, no, I'm not 100% healthy.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
Which I think we would have known he wasn't 100%, but I think
he wouldn't
still,
have been. Yeah.
He would have put together his own Aaron Rodgers game plan where like they just snap the ball and he throws it in like 1 second.
Yeah, I could see
He'd like
that,
line up like 5, 10 feet or yards back, not feet, and just just get it and just rip it out.
Yeah.
And whatever happens, and he'd be like, dude, he's doing it.
I actually do firmly believe that if we had won, he would have pushed himself back into the next game.
I think he would have too. Look, I watched him play through numerous things. Like he played through his broken thumb. He played through, I remember he like some other calf thing. He had like a really bad strain or like a tear.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, he was literally in the playoffs. Like the linemen were carrying him down the field.
Yeah.
Like it was wild. He was still like winning. Like that shit was wild. So like I think he would have tried to come back, especially if it was only like 1 or 2 games. Like I think.
Yeah.
Like listen, you could line up Aaron Rodgers 20, like put him where the punter stands. Just fucking long snap it to him and let him like rip it downfield. And that'd still probably do better than whatever the Jets are doing right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, except for Zach Wilson last week because he was a god last week. And he died in this week. So.
Yeah. So the no Aaron Rodgers, no fun. The Jets have ruined it because the Jets hate fun.
It's amazing that. I mean, it just happens every year, and I've talked about it many times. But like this season, we made it 4 plays. 4 plays.
4 plays
Before the season ended.
And all those plays weren't even completions.
No, none of them were. I don't think I don't think he completed a pass.
No, I think Breece Hall had a big run, and that was it. So next season though is going to be really fun when Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I'm going to say the trend of this podcast has been like. You know, the first season, I was like, the Jets have been bad for a long time, guys, but I think they're going to turn it around. And then the season ends like a month in or 2 months in. And then next season, it's like a month in. And then next season, it's the first game. And now it's 4 plays. So I don't know. The trend seems like maybe the season is going to end in preseason.
Or we'll get 4 games in and then it ends.
Maybe some sort of weird nominal rules, I can see that.
I will say, the first year we did this podcast, I think was 2018, and the Jets went 4-12 with Todd Bowles.
Classic
year. They did improve with Adam Gase to 7-9.
That's right.
And then they went 2-14 with Adam Gase.
Yep.
But then they went 4-13. Then they went 7-10, and everything was like looking good. And then they went so far 5-9. So I mean, we are trending upward, right?
I'm not sure if you plotted that on a line chart. I'm not sure that would be a trend upward necessarily.
It's something's got to give at some point, right?
I was so. It's going to be 13 seasons now. We are tied for the longest playoff drought in American professional sports right now across all American professional sports. And I did look it up. What was the longest before that? And the Lions and the Bills recently broke theirs, and they were at 17 years. So
you still got some time.
Yeah, potentially. That's fun. That's fun to see.
Man, love to see it. So then Jamar Chase likely to miss some time. That's not good for the Bengals. And it says reports are Seahawks expected to start Drew Lock despite Geno Smith being active. Oh, they're giving up on Geno season for Drew Lock season.
That is odd.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it might just be that he's still kind of injured, so they're gonna ride with Locke until
he was playing pretty bad before the injury too.
True, but not horrible. And Drew Lock is not. I don't know. Has Drew Lock been playing exceptionally well?
Well, he did yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't even know if did he. Well, I know we're not to that game yet, but I'm just gonna look real quick. He's fine. 22 of 33, 208 and a touchdown. I mean, that's not great, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
Seems like Geno numbers too. So I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, those are your main news stories that have popped up on my news story feed. Also, I want to bring up something I saw about Tommy DeVito.
Oh, I saw this as
Tommy
well.
Salami.
Yeah, he told his social media manager.
He told his social media manager.
Social media manager.
Word wrong.
To quote,
He tells him to make some tweets into that tin can, and he gives him $5 whole for it.
I thought Marty was like managing meteors. It's like, can you strike the Earth in like a couple days? Interesting. He told his social media manager to quit it with all the Italian shit. I just want to play football.
Isn't he doing the
Yeah. Hey, what's the matter, Tommy? You got a problem with the Italian Americans?
Sounds like he might just be upset
in this day and
that he
age.
lost this week.
I think so. It said he was approached to record a top 5 Sopranos moments video, which was the final straw. I mean,
have you seen his agent? He's like,
yes,
insane.
Yeah, yep. Oh, I did.
The
night we made him look like Lamar Jackson. I did indeed see that. It's just. I think I honestly think he should write it. Like
I think so too. I mean, he's literally like, look. I'm not. This isn't a critique of his character or anything, but I mean, like in the context of the league, he's nobody.
Yeah.
Right. But he is He's basically got an ad persona right now.
Yeah.
Like he could be in ads. He might even be a backup and be in ads because he's a meme. You know?
That's
DeVito,
the
thing. He should ride this, man. Just like fucking. Who cares about your Italian heritage?
Yeah,
like,
just make money and then
cares.
You can retire. I mean, dude, he's getting sacked like 7 times a game. Like, you're gonna die back there. You may as well just make your money and then
go
retire.
sell some fucking pepperoni on TV. Who cares? They'll probably pay you like $20 million.
Yeah. Or just play the Packers every week where they don't know how to sack you.
Yeah, that could happen.
That could happen too. So I think he's making a mistake here, no doubt about it.
He'll come back around. I think he'll, as soon as he throws a touchdown and then he gives the old Italian tiny violin symbol. What is that called? Does that have a name?
I don't actually know if it does. I feel like you would know because you're Italian.
I'm gonna look it up. Italian finger rub name. I guess che vuoi is the idea because it's the finger purse, pinched fingers. Che vuoi.
I don't know what that even means.
What like it's like what's the matter? What's
I see. Okay.
Yeah, like what it's specifically what do you want? What are you talking about? Or like what do you want?
Okay. That makes sense. It would make sense that the Italians have a thing of like, what do you want?
Yeah. What's the matter with you? What do you want? What's che vuoi? Ma che vuoi?
Well, one week you learn about pterodactyls, the next you learn about Italians here on this podcast. Also,
I apologize to any Italians watching.
Brock Purdy, I don't know if you guys saw, but he said Christian McCaffrey should be MVP.
Wow, one thing I agree with Brock Purdy on finally.
I mean, I see an article saying Christian McCaffrey has 1,801 yards and 20 touchdowns with 3 games still left to go.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's absurd.
It's pretty insane. That is, and the 49ers have thrown for the second most passing yards in the NFL, despite being dead last in passing attempts.
Yeah.
That just yep.
That's something. So
I'm trying to hold it in, guys. Okay, I'm holding it in.
Hey, I think Brock Purdy's really good, but also Christian McCaffrey is just the god of football.
He is insane.
Yeah.
I got extra tripped up because there was a play that I saw on the subreddit, and look, I'm totally willing to be wrong on this. I'm not. Look, we have a football podcast, but none of us are football experts, so any of us can be easily wrong. But it was a play where I don't know, like from my perspective, and maybe I'm just biased and all that, but like it seemed like a pretty shit throw, and Deebo Samuel made an incredible adjustment to actually catch it for the touchdown. And when I watched the play, I was like, wow, that was an incredible catch by Deebo Samuel, or maybe it was Ayuk. It was one of their 700 incredible players. Just an incredible adjustment to actually catch the ball. And I was like, man, that's my point right there. These guys are just insane. But then I looked at the thread and everyone was like, the throw by Brock Purdy, oh my God, it was so good. He put it exactly where only his receiver could catch it. It's amazing. It's incredible. And I thought I was taking crazy pills. I was like, isn't this throw really bad? And it's only because he has one of the best receivers that this was even caught in the first place. I don't know. Maybe that was maybe it was totally on purpose, and it's exactly what he meant to do with that throw, and he just knew that Deebo would do that, or Ayuk, whoever it was. I don't know.
So even if it wasn't, though, here's the thing.
Even if it was a bad throw.
No. Well, even if it was a bad throw, that doesn't necessarily mean he's bad. People make bad throws.
No, I agree with that. I'm just saying the reaction to it was what was pissing me off.
That is fair. I mean, the commentators do slobber all over every QB.
Well, it was just the comments in the Reddit thread, so even worse.
Oh, fair, yeah. Well, but the thing that I was gonna say is, even if it was a bad throw, there are many factors that go into having a successful QB record. Like, for instance, you could look at Tampa Bay, where they have Mike Evans, who's had 10 straight 1,000+ yard seasons with like 30 different QBs.
Right.
Clearly, he's one of the best to ever do it, but that doesn't mean the QBs that are there automatically throw for 5,000 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know, Baker Mayfield threw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
I would know Baker is quite good. I mean, remember last season?
I was joking.
He's fucking.
I do think Mayfield is actually like not horrible though, but
I don't think
regardless.
So
I think Mayfield is good, but yeah.
My thing I was gonna say is I like how my Kirk Cousins versus it's pretty much we swapped Kirk Cousins for Brock Purdy on the show at this
point. we're getting, and amazingly I'm on the same side, which is I always defend the QB.
I will say
I think are you talking about Derek Carr? Because I think that was a Derek Carr thing, not necessarily a Kirk Cousins thing.
No, it was I said Kirk Cousins was a glorified Derek Carr.
There was you also there was a good number, like the first 3 seasons there were several podcasts of me and Bear defending Kirk Cousins to Krendor and Sinvicta, being like, no, he's fucking good, he's just had bad teams, dude.
I will say this year I thought he actually looked like a much better quarterback to me.
If he stayed in the whole year, I think he would have been on actual MVP track.
Yeah, I think this was probably the best year he's played. I mean, you could look back at some other years, but I think this year actually did look like his best year.
Why he got injured. So,
which is why he got injured.
That's how it works. It's a Vikings thing.
Because it's one of those things that for instance, for a guy like Brock Purdy or any of the other young, even Baker Mayfield, right? He's still really young as a QB. I know that he's off of his rookie contract and all that other stuff, and that in context of NFL terms is old, as far as guys that are still playing in the league. But for both draft position and just team position, being a QB, there are certain things, certain qualities that you can have that would carry you throughout a career. And really a QB's prime theoretically is 28 to 32, right? So until they get into that range, you're not really, you get the first 3 years and you get a general gist of what their QB is. But once they get into that range, there is when they're starting to fire on all cylinders kind of thing. So they take time.
That's why I still get mad when people are just like, Jordan Love sucks. They're like, it's his 4th year. I'm like, dude, he hasn't played games. He's just sat. It's literally how are you supposed to learn how to swim without swimming? It's you can sit there and learn about how this is how you swim and here's how to swim and learn and watch people swim. But until you're actually swimming, you're not going to learn shit.
Yeah, it's still basically a rookie season. He's just had a lot of theory work beforehand. Yeah, and theory's great.
The best way to teach a child to swim is to just throw them in at the age of 2. And If they start to sink,
videos.
let it go.
Yeah, there's many babies in the sea. You can get a new one.
Bryce Young's drowning right now. He's really struggling out there.
That is basically the NFL strategy. Yeah,
it is.
Throw the babies into the sea.
It does work sometimes.
CJ Stroud. Yeah.
Sometimes you find like Michael Phelps, and other times you find your local like lifeguard out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is what were we even talking about? I don't know. We had football games.
We had some football games that
we were talking about Christian McCaffrey, actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, speaking of teams that don't have Christian McCaffrey, the Chargers and the Raiders.
That's true.
This game was 42-0 at halftime.
No one expected this.
No, I expected a really bad game,
not
but not
even
like
in the realm of like reality.
Yeah. Not even close.
Like
right?
when they showed this game, it was like, all right, these teams are playing for nothing. It's going to be like a whatever game. But apparently the Chargers were like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. And the Raiders were like, nah, we're going to go beat their ass. What happened?
Well, they both jostling for playoff spots still, right?
No, not at all.
No.
They're not eliminated, though.
They're not, but
they mathematically are eliminated, like basically.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about this game is the Raiders don't even have 400 yards.
Yeah.
They scored 63 points on 378 yards of offense.
Yeah.
Which is kind of insane.
It feels like the Chargers just didn't care. Right.
The Chargers had more time of possession.
Easton Stick, their QB, had 3 touchdowns and 300 yards, 257.
Yeah, those were extremely garbage time. He
True.
also had a pick 6 and a fumble, scoop, and score.
The pick 6 was pretty funny.
Yeah. This was a worst case scenario, but actually a blessing in disguise because it did get the Chargers to finally fire Brandon Staley.
That is true. Yeah. Yes, that's right. We didn't even cover that. Brandon Staley's fired.
Which, I didn't even know that, actually, but that's good news.
Should have happened at the beginning of the season. A real Matt Canada situation, but congratulations to the one Chargers fan that watches this show.
It's fucked, dude. Like, it is amazing that he still does as well as he does. That he's gonna have, this is gonna be his 3rd head coach now, right?
It's the Chargers way, man.
When hold on, Brandon Staley. What did he do before coaching the Chargers?
He was with the Raiders. Wasn't he with the Steelers?
I don't recognize the name.
I don't know. Hold on, Brandon Staley. He was with the Rams defensive coordinator. That's what it was. Wait, he was the defensive. He wasn't even the offensive coorinator. I thought he was the offensive coordinator. What the shit? Huh.
Yeah.
Well, today I learned. Oh, he was the Bears linebacker coach in 2017 to 2018. Then he was the Broncos outside linebacker coach 2019. And then, 2020 Rams defensive coordinator and then Chargers head coach in 2021. So
he was supposed to come in and fix the defense. And
yeah. Although I still probably would take him over Joe Barry, honestly. But that's not saying a lot. That's why I'd still rather have anybody else. The Raiders win this meaningless game. Aiden O'Connell threw for 4 touchdowns. Jacoby Myers threw for a touchdown. Pretty much everybody on the Raiders got a touchdown, and they scored 63 points.
And they had a shot at the record too, but they fucked it up, man.
Yep.
They just stopped.
Yeah,
they could have kept going.
I was watching and I was cheering for the record. There was like 13 minutes left in the game when they got the ball back and had 63 points, and then they just they were throwing for it. They were trying to get it. They just sucked.
Yeah,
they suddenly sucked.
I think the Chargers didn't want it to happen, so they started trying.
Yeah, and then when the Raiders got the ball back the next time, they were like, okay, we'll run it out.
Yeah. And that was really that game. It sucked aside from the fact that there's a lot of scoring by the Raiders.
Yeah. What a shellacking.
Yeah.
Then we had the Vikings Bengals, which was actually an insane game.
And then the Vikings Vikinged it.
Yep. So the Vikings were up 17-3 in the third quarter, and it looked like they were just going to win. And then all of a sudden, the Bengals just woke up. They just start going crazy. Browning had that crazy touchdown to Tyler Boyd, I believe. Or no, T. Higgins, who made the catch, and then like one arm reached out. It was an insane catch.
Oh, yeah. That catch was
to tie the game with like 40 seconds left or something. Then we go to overtime, and the classic Minnesota Viking offensive strategy of, hey guys, we tried to get the 3rd and 1 by doing this dumb play with the sneak. What if we do it again? And then they did it again and didn't get it. And it was like, why don't you just run the ball with, like, I don't know, you're running back with 132 yards and a touchdown, averaging 5.7 yards a carry on 23 carries?
Yeah.
I think he could get a yard.
I'm going to be honest, like, I don't think the Vikings coaches knew that Nick Mullins didn't know how to quarterback sneak. Because both times he did the classic, like, turn around and kind of push his back into the line type deal, which is, if you watch any quarterback who's good at sneaks, they don't do that. They just dive forward.
Yeah.
And he was like, come on, push, guys, push. It's like,
yeah,
bro, that's never going to work. I don't know.
Yeah. And
I don't know what that was all about.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but it was pretty bad. And
so,
then
like quarterback sneaks are good, but stop doing it on 3rd and really long ones. Like, that's bad. You do it on 3rd and like less than ones.
Yeah,
like not more than ones.
Yeah, like just do a different running play, even like play action to the. Usually, if you like bootleg to the tight end or something, it's open a lot of the time. Like, there's so many different things you can do, right?
Yeah.
Especially
you
when
go
you
for it
think,
on 4th too.
Well, yeah, that's why. That's like on 3rd and short. You may as well just do like a bootleg, then have the tight end block and roll out, because most of them are thinking it's going to be a run, especially if you keep sneaking or running all the time. Like, I don't know. It was terrible play calling, to be honest.
Yep.
And then the Bengals came back, and then they kicked the game winner, and that was it. So the Bengals are somehow 8-6 still without Joe Burrow, and sitting in the 6th spot.
I want to also mention that the Vikings wide receiver, Jordan Addison, who is real good as well, also had 2 receiving touchdowns and 111 reception yards and 6 receptions.
Yep.
And I just wanted to point that out because he scored 30 points on me in my playoff game that I lost in fantasy this week.
Yes, that makes sense.
Because I didn't bring that up. We haven't talked the fantasy yet.
Oh,
Bear might be here later, but he won his playoff game.
He did.
Mine was lost on the bench. I had a win on the bench.
You should have put in Baker Mayfield.
Should put in Baker Mayfield and Terry McLaurin and freaking Jaden Reed.
Yep. Well, me and Apollo are playing for last place, so that's neat.
I lost to someone who didn't even check their team and didn't play a player.
Yep.
That's the fantasy breaks, baby.
Incredible.
That's how it goes.
Then we had the Colts Steelers.
Okay. I said this in the every time we get to a Steelers game it went bad, I have like 900,000 things I want to say, and I never know how to say them all in a concise manner that doesn't take up 6 hours.
Right.
But I am done with Mike Tomlin, and this is not just a me thing. Like most Steeler fans are done with Mike Tomlin, and I don't want to argue whether or not Mike Tomlin is a good or a bad coach. But I'm looking at this in very much the Bill Belichick like area of like, it's just time. Like, we need to move on.
Yeah.
Like, regardless, like, I don't care if another team signs him the next day, then he can be their problem. I don't care. Like, we need to do something because this is clearly not working. And now that like everyone's kind of talking about this, some really crazy statistics that I didn't really like I felt these statistics, but I didn't see them until I saw them and went, holy shit. So Mike Tomlin's been head coach for 17 seasons. Crazy, right? That's been 17 years of Mike Tomlin. How many of those years do you think he has a playoff win?
3?
4. He has 4 of those 17 years. That's not great. And guess what? 3 of those were against backup quarterbacks. He has 1 win against a real team in the playoffs in the last 17 years.
Yeah, that's pretty bad when you put it like that.
He did win a Super Bowl, though.
He won a Super Bowl with one of the best defenses of all time.
Yeah.
So that happened.
True.
Just I guess so. That's great. And look, it's kind of a Jeff Fisher scenario. Like, he's just good enough to not get fired, but just bad enough to never fucking succeed anymore.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, it's time to go. You gotta go. Yeah. And it's frustrating because people like Rob show up and they're like, but wait, actually, he's good though. And I get from the perspective from someone who's had 74 head coaches in the last 3 weeks. That it looks like he's a great coach.
Damn, but Rob's taking shots in the Steelers game, dude.
I'm just saying, when you're sitting here and like everyone wants to win the Super Bowl, that's the goal, to win the Super Bowl. And you have someone who clearly just can't get it done. Maybe they did in the past, but they clearly can't anymore. And it becomes grating, and it has long been grating for like 6 years. Like, the stats were bad enough if you go back 17 years. I think if you go back 10 years, it's like awful. Like, I try to remember when the last time we had a playoff win, and it's been a lot of years.
Here's what I will say. I still think Mike Tomlin is a great coach. I think he's still one of the best head coaches in the league. However, I won't argue with you with the idea that maybe it's time to just, part ways, because that's happened in the past.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, that happened to Andy Reid.
Andy Reid, exactly, with the Eagles. That was that was the example that I was going to give him, and also Marvin Lewis with the Bengals too.
Oh, yeah.
Marvin Lewis was there.
Mike McCarthy too, but he's just actually a bad coach.
And he wasn't there like all that long, honestly. In fairness,
but he did win a Super Bowl.
Well, he did win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was coasting on that Super Bowl for a while. But
he was.
So the one thing that I would argue with is saying that Mike Tomlin's like Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher was perpetually 7-9. Mike Tomlin is perpetually winning.
And 9-7.
Perpetually.
Rob. He's perpetually 9-7.
But making the playoffs.
Much better.
But he's making the playoffs. Yes, I will say, speaking from the perspective of someone who has the longest playoff drought in professional sports, yes, it is good to still make the playoffs, because anything could happen in the playoffs. But I agree, though, that maybe it's time for them to part ways, and because he could go somewhere else and do better there too.
The biggest thing is, like, if you watch these games, it's not even like I've been watching bad offenses and a bad defense. I've been watching bad play all year, but that's not what really struck me this game. And in the last couple of games, what's really struck me is how the players just there's no emotion. It's like there's not even any anger. Like, it's just straight faced. Like, I'm just here to get paid. Like, it's really like tough to watch. Like, you want to watch a game and watch the team fired up, or when something's going wrong, you want to see people yelling, and like you want to see emotion, and it's gone. There's none. No one cares, and that's bad. Like, that's like, I know that it's Mitch Trubisky. Not even Mitch Trubisky anymore. Apparently Mason Rudolph's going to start next week. That's how bad Mitch Trubisky is.
Oh boy.
But it's just. It's time to go. It's time for Mike Tomlin to go, and I wish him luck if he does get signed to a team, which he probably will. The reality is he's probably not even going to get fired in the first place, which is.
I will say, if you compare Jeff Fisher and Mike Tomlin, Jeff Fisher was 173, 165, and 1 in the regular season, so pretty close to 500. Mike Tomlin was 170, 102. So he was better by quite a bit in the regular season. But in the playoffs, Jeff Fisher was 5-6, and Mike Tomlin is 8-9. So they're actually pretty similar in the playoffs.
Take away the Super Bowl run, which is 3 games, and then it's much worse. It's 2-9 or 2-9, right? No,
5-9.
5-9. I don't know how to do math.
Yeah.
But it's it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And again, 3 of those wins are against backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's also true. Like,
one of those wins was I think this may have been one of the backup quarterback wins. I don't remember, but it was against the Bengals, and that was one of the games where the Bengals literally threw the game in one of the worst, most catastrophic playoff losses of all time. Remember the
I do remember that.
It was the Antonio Brown, Vontez Burfict hit.
Yep.
And then they got 15 yards. And it was when they were literally running the clock out. They were doing run plays and they had basically won the game, but he fumbled on one of those like run plays where you're not, and then we got the ball back, then that penalty, and then it was the penalty after that with God, was it Joey Porter? Yeah, Joey Porter came onto the field and like Pac-Man Jones or someone, I forget who, pushed him and got another 15-yard penalty, and then it was just like a chip shot field goal, and they lost.
I remember because I wanted the Bengals to win because they hadn't won a playoff game in like 800 years. And I was like, dude, here we go, Bengals. And then they just did all that, and I was like, what are they doing?
So that's one of Mike Tomlin's wins. You may as well count that as a loss. That should have been a loss.
I mean, but even great coaches or even great like QBs and stuff have like stumbled into wins and Super Bowls and
I'm ready for this team to change because it's been like this, except we win instead of lose, where every game is stressful. You wonder what the fuck's going on, but we just keep winning. But now it's the opposite, where you wonder what the fuck's going on and we just keep losing. Like, that's not good.
Yeah. It's like you said, sometimes you do just need change. I mean, it's like, even like quarterback, like with Aaron Rodgers, it was like, he wasn't bad, but it was like, I'm just ready to move on. And sometimes that's all you need. But yeah, this was a rough one for the Steelers. Colts.
30 unanswered, by the way.
30 unanswered.
Talking about the game, we went up 13-0, and our defensive-minded teams gave up 30 straight points.
Yep. It is. And apparently Damonte Kazi is suspended.
Yes, it's weird that his hit, like, he's a douchebag and he shouldn't be throwing these hits, but like it's a pretty severe suspension. And I'm always like, man, the NFL, go murder someone who isn't a football player and they don't give a shit, but like try to murder someone on the field and they're like, hey, get the hell out of here.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Go beat women like the rest of them. All right.
Yeah, but don't gamble.
Don't. That's very, very lopsided punishments. Which
it's all arbitrary. It's all
that's all I like. I think it's a good punishment. It's just it makes all the other punishments look weird.
It does. Yeah, they're very bad at doing a lot of things, to be honest. But it's moral of the story here is that the Steelers are shitting themselves, and now they're not
basically eliminated, essentially.
Yeah. Because, like, when we mentioned the Raiders and the Chargers being in it, like, statistically, yes, but they will not be in it very soon.
Yeah. Like, I forgot the other stat that I wanted to do is that apparently this is also something that Mike Tomlin has done like 5 times in the last 10 years, which is have a good record and then totally collapse at the end of the year and miss the playoffs. This is like the 5th time this has happened.
Yeah. Well, that's his thing. It's like, even that one year, it was like the Ben Roethlisberger final year, and they like barely made the playoffs, and everybody knew they were going to lose. Like, they were playing the Chiefs, and then they got absolutely demolished. And it was like, well, there it is.
Yep.
So it was like, they made the playoffs. He got his winning record, but they clearly weren't supposed to be there.
Yep.
So
anyway,
exactly. Yeah, like the Bills and the Texans are both 8-6, and they are currently on the bubble. So I don't think the 6-8 Raiders or the 5-9 Chargers, with like 3 weeks to go, are going to be really making a playoff push there.
No.
But the Colts,
it's unlikely.
Colts are in the 7th seed right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're great, but I think they can. I mean, they beat the Browns earlier in the year. Well, they didn't, but they did. I think they can compete with any of the AFC teams. I don't think they'd go to the Super Bowl, but I think they can. They're like a team that can, sneak one, win a wild card.
I'm gonna be honest. All of these teams are so fucking close, like within one game of each other, that like we got 3 games left. I think it's fucking anybody's game right now.
Yeah,
like maybe not the Raiders,
not the Raiders or the Steelers. But yeah,
well, I mean,
else...
maybe the Steelers actually like they're 7-7. I mean, if you go on a 3-game winning streak, yeah, but if you go on a 3-game winning streak, you're 10-7.
A 3-game winning streak with Mason Rudolph at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, it's unlikely.
Still out?
Yeah, he's out until they said at least the Ravens game, which is the final game of the season. Also, our defense is dead, like just dead. Like half, like the suspension has made it even worse.
Yeah,
but things get weird,
And that's true. The Steelers are very good at winning out and then losing right away, so we could have one of those.
I mean, I did say. So here's the issue: is I said that the only way the Steelers make the playoffs is if they lose to the Patriots and then go on a wild win streak and beat the Ravens to clinch a playoff spot. That came true, except for this week. This is when they were supposed to start winning. So that's also not happening. So it's basically
If they lose to the Bengals, I think it's like statistically
eliminated.
Well, I mean, it's the Joe Burrow-less and Jamar Chase-less Bengals now.
Rob, the worse you make the team, the more likely we are to lose. You got to understand how this works.
Also, they've won 2 in a row. So I mean, it's not like you're 3 in a row. You're helping prove my point.
I just have the standings open right now. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, it says it's W3.
So yes. Then we had the Lions Broncos.
I mean, kinda.
This was just, I think Bear in the chat was like, why'd we all pick the Broncos? Well, it was because the Lions have been bad lately and the Broncos have been good lately. But then
pretty much.
The Lions were like, oh yeah, all we have to do is like score 40, and then they did, and that was it.
Look, I love free points, and but I also want to be known as an honest man. I could have sworn I picked the Broncos. I don't remember picking the Lions, but the Pixel has me as picking the Lions, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll pick the Lions. But
I don't remember. I have no idea.
I don't remember. Maybe I did just pick the. I checked the tapes on that just to be sure, but I was like, man, why did I pick the Lions, or why did I pick the Broncos? And then I saw the graphic and I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't. I could pull it up right now, but.
You're doing it on the recording. You don't edit.
I'm doing so much right now.
I'll pull it up because I don't have anything to say about this game. I don't think any of us have much to say about this game.
Jared Goff threw 5 touchdowns. Jameer Gibbs ran for 100 and a touchdown. Even David Montgomery had 85 yards. They just absolutely dunked on the Broncos, and then the Broncos
just demolished them.
They didn't really run well. Russell Wilson threw a touchdown in 2:23, and they just kind of got outplayed. So this was, I think the Lions were finally, they hit the point of like, guys, we need to like win. And they answered. Like, they came out, they made a statement game, and good for them, because they have been kind of spiraling the last couple of weeks. And then the Broncos on the other side, they're still there, but this was, I think, more of a down-to-earth thing, because they've kind of been riding high for the last couple of weeks, where they beat the Chargers, they barely lost to the Texans, they beat the Browns, they beat the Vikings, they beat the Bills, the
I
Chiefs.
Picked the Lions. All right, I'm back. I checked the tapes. I did pick them. I have a horrible memory, is what we learned instead, actually.
Let's go.
I will say the Broncos play the Patriots, Chargers, and Raiders, so they could very easily win those 3 games and be 10-7. I would not be surprised.
I don't think you're going to need to have the best record. I feel like this wild card is going to become a lot more obvious this week. I feel like it's been lingering, but I think this is the week where a lot of these teams are going to lose, and and the other half is going to win, and it's going to be more obvious.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that, especially because Browns, Texans play each other, who are both playoff teams, right? And then you got Bills, Chargers. I would hope the Bills could beat the Chargers. You got Bengals, Steelers, which is more playoff stuff. So like, there are some.
Well, actually, hold on, Bills, Chargers, but the Chargers are gonna have new coach buff.
I don't think that's gonna help.
I don't think it'll help the Chargers, Rob.
I don't think
Easton Stick
of the fired coach. Yeah, Easton Stick. I mean, it has to be magic. Like, fired coach buff.
Yeah.
To me, it's a buff. That doesn't necessarily mean it's like a win, right?
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
I think if they were playing like the Falcons, then I'd pick them. But
yeah, I probably would pick them even if they didn't fire their coach.
Like, the Bills just beat the Dallas Cowboys, who were, top 5 NFL power rankings.
Oh, of course, always, man, always.
So then we had the Giants-Saints, where Tommy DeVito's unbelievable play has come back down to earth. And he also got concussed.
I feel like I called this. Well, I feel like DeVito magic had to end. It just had to.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't play that bad, in fairness.
No, but
he
put up backup quarterback numbers this game.
Yeah.
And the run game was non-existent.
Yeah.
I mean, important to note, he is a rookie, undrafted rookie. So,
Rob, defender of all things rookie quarterback.
He didn't even have a bad game. He just didn't have a good game.
He
It was just people were being like, is this the guy that's going to carry the Giants to the playoffs and all the way to the...
Right.
I was rooting for the Giants. Like, I picked the Saints, but I wanted the Giants to win because it's funnier that way.
Yeah.
I actually wanted, I want all of the NFC South to lose as much as possible because it's funnier that way.
Yeah.
So I was even rooting for the Packers just because I wanted the Bucs to lose. But here we are. Yeah, this game, the Saints, man, their inconsistency returns. They're this is the Saints team that makes you think. I mean,
the Saints do feel like the Steelers of the NFC at times.
Yeah, I mean, underperforming with a supposedly good roster. Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am going to sing the praises once more of Alvin Kamara, who is, I would argue, was like the Christian McCaffrey before McCaffrey was in the league, and is still that kind of guy. He just,
he's like Diet McCaffrey. He's
on the Saints. Yeah, well, it's just he's on the Saints,
Yeah,
like if he was on, if
the Dolphins or something.
Well, I think if he was on the Niners instead of McCaffrey, if that trade was for Kamara instead of McCaffrey, maybe Kamara wouldn't have done as well as McCaffrey's doing right now, but probably pretty close. The numbers that he was having when he was back with Breeze is just wild. And honestly, he's carried my fantasy football league for a good portion of even this year, because they just keep, he's one of those, he's the Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara type back, that guy who's really quick in the run game, but also, a short passing god, just gets a bunch of yards after catch.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I mean, after this game, the Saints are still, they're in the 9 seed right now. So they're behind the Vikings, Rams, and Seahawks currently, but they do play the Rams this week. So that's pretty big. And then the Saints play the Buccaneers and the Falcons. So that's, the Buccaneers game's also probably for the division, most likely, unless the Bucs win this week and then but still, it's gonna be. We got some games. That's what I'm saying.
We got some games.
And the Giants are gonna be eliminated. So
yeah. They're not out yet.
They are. They're
not statistically eliminated.
Not statistically, but they are not. They could win out and be 8-9, and I guarantee some other teams are going to do better than that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember the Cowboys already have a spot. So, Cowboys/Eagles have one of the wild card spots. So,
yeah.
Okay.
There's only 2 left.
I just looked it up. The Giants have a 5.9% chance of a playoff spot.
That is so much higher than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I mean, there's not that many teams in the running.
Dude, the Packers, after losing that game, if they win out, they're still at a 95% chance to make the playoffs. That's how bad the NFC is.
Let me see what the Packers' chance.
I just said it. If they win out, it's 95%.
Well, no, I'm just looking at like what their current it's like their betting odds. Yeah, a 50% chance now,
which makes sense.
The Steelers.
Speaking of NFC North teams, the Bears blew the game to the Browns.
Oh my god, dude! I'm so sick of the Browns stealing games, whether it's stealing it through the refs or stealing it through the other team just being fucking the Bears.
This was something because the Bears were up 17-7, and then Justin Fields broke out of a sack and threw a touchdown. It was pretty crazy. But before halftime, they could have tried a field goal, but I guess it was windy and rainy too much for him to try, so they just tried to Hail Mary it, and then they got intercepted. And then the Browns in the second half came back. Flacco threw a touchdown to Amari Cooper, and he ran it in, and then it was all tied up. And then the Browns took the lead, and then the Bears threw a Hail Mary in which they had it. Darnell Mooney had it in his hands, hit him in the chest, and then he dropped it, kicked it up, and they picked it off.
It was crazy because like when we say he had it, it's not one of those where like it went through his hands or it like literally he had it tucked to his chest like a catch, and then like it like the ball gained phasing or some shit and just went through everything, and
no clips.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Like, it's the most Bears thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it really was. It was. It was so bad. It was like the anti-Hail Mary where like some teams like, dude, we got it, unbelievable. And the Bears are just like, oh, we got it. Oh, and I mean, Justin Fields played all right. I don't think he was amazing, but
his 2 interceptions were both Hail Mary interceptions, right?
They're both Hail Mary interceptions. One of which should have been a touchdown, probably.
Yeah.
And I still think they're gonna get rid of him. Honestly,
I think he's good. I think Justin Fields is good. I will be a Justin Fields defender.
I agree.
He's good still, yeah. I don't think he's bad.
And now that's interesting too, because I mean I should look up his stats because his stats are not good.
That's the thing. Like you watch him play and you just see these incredible things, and he makes good throws. Like I feel like it's just a Bears thing, man. Like it's got to be a Bears thing.
It very much is a Bears thing.
Yeah, like
he should be a Lamar Jackson type. Yeah. Like he's more athletic than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, he's bigger. He's like a faster Josh Allen, but like I wouldn't say he's necessarily because Lamar is just like so fast.
Right.
But so this year right now he's got 1,976 yards, 14 touchdowns to 8 interceptions with a 61 completion percentage.
Considering he's on the Bears, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
He was injured for what, 3-4 games?
That is across 10 starts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And rushing across those 10 starts, he's got 488 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, so isn't bad either.
Yeah, no, it's good. 5.1 yards per attempt. So he's like contributing quite a lot in the running game. I mean, 500 yards is good, you know?
Yeah.
Like a running back wants 1,000 yards in a season to have a good season, right? So
yeah.
And 500 on like half a season QB. He missed like
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I want to see him on literally any other team.
I think him on Atlanta would be fantastic. I mean, they don't have a quarterback in Atlanta. Like he kind of just fits what they do. He can run, they can play action because they run so heavily, and then he can sneak. He can make throws when he has to. Like I feel like Atlanta is the perfect team for him.
I don't know if they're going to be in the market.
They should.
They might.
They benched Desmond Ridder again. So
yeah. I mean, I haven't looked into their like cap situation and everything. Yeah.
The Falcons lost to the Carolina Panthers this week.
How did Arthur Smith not get like this is a get fired game? Like I don't understand.
This is the toilet bowl. This is I mean, I guess 3-0 was the real toilet bowl of the season, but like
see, at least that game is exciting because it might be 0-0. This game was 7-3 at half. So this is actually worse than that, I feel like.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Yeah. This is oh my God!
Bryce Young, raining. Imagine the poor people in the stands.
Yep. Oh, there were not many
people who are like, I'm in Carolina this week. I guess I can go see the Falcons. You know, I want to see them.
I was told that tickets were selling for $1. I don't know if that's true.
I don't know. The stadium was pretty empty from what I saw, but I mean,
doubt it.
It's a 1-12 team in the rain.
Yeah.
So not that much hype to go out unless you're like an actual true Panthers fan, in which you're like, dude, nice, cheap game. And then you can actually buy your like $14 beer.
Yeah.
But this was a classic Falcon game where they had playoff hopes. They're right there. They're like, guys, I think we're turning the corner. And then you lose to your division rival that is 1-12. Like, man,
that's some NFC South football, baby.
It sure is. So listen, I'm kind of worried about the Panthers next week. I'm not even gonna lie. Our defense is so bad. I legit think Bryce Young is gonna go like for 300 with 3 touchdowns.
God, imagine if they had Christian McCaffrey.
That'd be pretty insane. Imagine. Yeah, this was, I'd say, more of the Falcons just being bad than the Panthers being good.
I mean, they're both real bad, it seems.
The Falcons, there's a special kind of bad because they're supposedly supposed to be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's, in fact, when I was still looking back at the Packer-Falcons game, we should have beat them, but we dropped 2 Desmond Ridder interceptions. One could have been a pick 6, and then we let Bijan Robinson run for like 800 yards.
Why is Bijan Robinson why did he only get 7 carries?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question.
Maybe,
Didn't we have this?
I
don't think he is. They had this conversation like weeks ago, and then they were like, give him the ball more. Then he did, and they did well, and then he just stopped.
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't want to give him the ball. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at his record. He's got he's got 801 yards and 4 touchdowns with 4.6 yards per attempt.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I don't know why he's not getting the ball more, to be honest.
I'll be honest. I'm going to make an early call. This is my prediction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Bryce Young's the starting quarterback in 4 years.
I mean, you're not. I wouldn't say you're far off. Like, it's he's not looking great. I
think it's too early.
I think it is too early. Still,
that's why I'm trying to make a bold prediction. Maybe I look like a dumbass. He's gonna have like 2 rings in 4 years. But no, I think he's out. I don't think he's out of the league, but I think he's not a starter in 4 years.
Yeah.
I will say his yards per attempt are pretty bad.
Just like when I've watched him play, like. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not good at knowing football things, so you shouldn't take me seriously.
Yeah. But, I mean, none of us are.
Yeah. Right. But like when I am like grading someone that I'm watching, it really is like how they look, like how they look in the pocket, like what their throws look like. Like I don't look at stats. I just like
you can usually get a gist of it.
Yeah, and
go the eye test.
It's the eye test, and I swear Bryce Young looks like he's terrified of everything. Like not just getting tackled, but like just doing anything. Like his throws are like wild. He scrambles when he shouldn't. It's just all bad.
I mean, they are the anti-49ers though, where they have nobody. So like maybe
and important to keep in mind. They might just fire everyone after this season.
Well, they already did fire their head coach. So
yeah. So I mean, well, and then all the rest of the guys, the next guy that comes in isn't necessarily going to keep on any of the staff. They might keep some people on.
Yeah,
but like
I would love to be wrong. I don't have anything against Bryce Young. But that's just my prediction.
Yeah. No, I agree. He hasn't done himself many favors. He hasn't looked that great, but he definitely doesn't have a team around him. So I think next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Next year we'll see.
Well, it's one of those things because, like, most recently on my own team, Sam Darnold, right? Yep. Like when you have that instability, or like Baker Mayfield, the Browns, like different play caller every year. It's just hard. That's hard to put on anybody, you know, like, because if you've seen those playbooks and stuff, like, yes, there's a lot of like translating the same information into different languages, basically, and that's basically what you're doing. But like, even still, it's a lot of shit.
Yeah.
For anybody, let alone a guy who's suddenly a millionaire in his early 20s. You know, like he's got to deal with all the. Yeah, exactly. Like there's a lot of, he's got suddenly, newspapers are talking about him. He's got like, social media talking about him. He's probably got like a huge Twitter and all this other shit. It's a lot. Not everybody's CJ Stroud. All I'm saying. And he doesn't look that honestly. So he's got 9 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. So it's not great, but it's a rookie. So
it's. We'll see. I do think he needs more around him before we decide. But at least when you start building around somebody, and then if you decide you don't want him, then you have a team, you can plug someone else into right away.
Well, hopefully they get him a coach that is good, that stays there and doesn't get fired.
Seems
in
like a
year.
hard thing to do.
That is,
it is, yeah.
And that's why they've hired Brandon Staley.
Right. You're joking, but like, my God, like it could happen.
Riverboat Ron's coming back.
Coaching nepotism is a freak nightmare problem.
Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, he needs a job, right? So
yeah, he needs a job. Yeah,
he might come back.
He'll go wherever Bill Belichick goes. Oh my God, they bring in Bill Belichick.
Oh, could be. That would be
hilarious. That would actually be hilarious. I don't think Bill Belichick would actually go there.
In Carolina. No. I mean, he's been in like frozen hellhole for
he'd go to the Chargers
years.
Probably, and just because Justin Herbert's there and he's like, I
just
can
retire. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we had the Buccaneers Packers.
Let's hear it, Coach.
All right. So first, we're going to talk about the good stuff. The offense was actually pretty good. Jordan Love went 29 of 39, 284, 2 touchdowns. He looked pretty solid. He had a couple of misses. He had a missed touchdown that was pretty bad, and he had another miss. But like outside, you're always going to have misses. Outside of that, he was pretty good. He hit Jaden Reed on an insane touchdown, and Jaden Reed, who also made an insane catch on it. Like, it was phenomenal. Dontavian Wicks, who's like our 7th rounder, continues to just be insane. He had 97 yards on 6 catches. He's just always open. So that's pretty great. Aaron Jones came back, and I think they had him on a pitch count because at the start of the game, we were running the ball with Aaron Jones. He was getting like 7 yards of carry. And I was like, dude, yeah, Aaron Jones. And then they just stopped. I was like, okay. But
classic maneuver.
Like, overall, the offense played well enough to win this game. But the defense. Defense, maybe one of the worst defensive performances I've ever seen. And I've seen some bad ones. They could not stop the Buccaneers. Ever.
Are you telling me a team only punting one time in an entire game is not good?
Yeah. Buccaneers were 7 of 11 on 3rd down. These weren't just like, 3rd and 3. One of them was 3rd and like 18.
I remember that one.
Yep. One was like 3rd and 11. There was like 3rd and 8. Like, there was some long 3rd downs in there, and it hit the point where I was like, they're just going to get it. And they would. And I was like, yep. And like, on a level of like a mental perspective, like the offense and the whole team is like, oh God, they're going to get it again. And it's like they start thinking that too. And then it happens and it just spirals down. And Joe Barry, the entirety, we've hit the point where now that Matt Canada's gone, Joe Barry has become the coordinator that is the most hated coordinator, maybe in all of football. He's just in the Twitter threads.
There's a lot of them in there.
The NFL.
I do see Joe Barry named NFC Offensive Player of the Week, which is very funny.
He had a great quote. I don't know if you guys saw this unbelievable Joe Barry quote.
Joe Query. He queried the reporters.
Well, first off, here's a stat for you. The Packers Stat truck. The Packers put together one of the worst pass coverage performances in recent NFL history by any team. Their overall PFF coverage grade of 29.3 is the lowest of a single game team in the last 5 seasons.
That's fun.
It's literally, we're just the anti-Jets. We do just the worst defenses, but we've done this just forever. Except for like 2010 when we won the Super Bowl, and then maybe like one other year in there. Our players are clearly not happy. Devondre Campbell, our middle linebacker today, said, "Not going out of my way anymore, and I'm not playing through injuries anymore because when shit goes wrong, they always use it against you. I'm treating everyone accordingly and giving them the same energy they're giving me. Focus on yourself."
Oh shit, things are blowing up.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, he didn't get fired yet, huh?
Nope.
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur says, I'd like to have... Oh, God, what did he say here? He said, I know there's some calls that Joe would like to have back, in particular, some of those 3rd and 3 to 4 yard plays where we're playing soft zone and they can easily get a free completion. But hopefully we can learn from that and not make the same mistake twice. Well, guess what? It hasn't been twice. It's been every fucking game.
That's not even a Joe Barry exclusive. So many teams do that dumbass shit. Like, what is the thought process? Like, we'll stop him on the next down? Is that it?
Yeah. I'm not fully certain, but I think that zone coverage is like easier to execute in theory.
But no, but like on those specific plays where if you play it, you are literally giving them a free first down.
Yeah.
Like the thought process, the only thing I can think of is you're like, okay, guys, we can't stop them on this down, so let's make sure they don't get a bunch of yards, and we'll try again on the next one.
Yeah,
which is an insane thing to think, but that's the only way I can understand it.
And it's just like the worst part is we were giving up big plays anyway. Like the one was like 3rd and 11, and he just got a completion to Chris Godwin. He ran it for like 50 yards. So like, what are we doing? Just like, I swear to God, I've said this numerous times. Just all out blitz, literally just all out blitz. Just make him throw it up, and if they get it, cool. Then they score, they get the ball back. It's better than like a 17 play drive that just drains your defense, and everyone's like, well, that was fun. Like just blitz them. At least you're gonna make them make a crazy decision. Like that's kind of what I think the Vikings actually do. That they blitz on like 60% of their plays. So like, I don't know.
Brian Flores.
Yep. Listen, I would take him as our coordinator.
I'm a fan of the blitzing.
Yeah. Plus, here's a fun stat. It's not even a stat. It's another tweet. Packers had their defensive meeting this morning with Joe Barry. His message to the defense, according to our corner, Eric Stokes, was, quote, all the explosive plays, that shit will get you beat.
What?
Yep. Somebody said you can't fire a guy with this level of understanding for the game.
Joe Barry, that's the thing you say to the reporters and like the media.
Yeah.
You actually have to coach real things when the team is asking for stuff.
And like, he's in charge of the defense. And he's like, all these plays that are explosive, that shit's going to get you beat. It's like being in charge of a nuclear reactor and being like, these meltdowns that keep happening, we gotta fix that. It's like, you're the one in charge of this. Oh my God.
We're all looking for the guy who did this.
Literally, yeah.
It's literally that meme.
It's the most evergreen meme that exists on the internet.
Great. Yeah.
That like it will be good forever.
Yeah.
It's because it's human nature to be like, well, it's not my fault, so.
And here's the thing. I don't think they're gonna fire him still. It's just
really.
I think they'll fire him at the end of the season.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I think they're gonna let him play it out, which I hate.
It's so dumb because it's like it can't get any worse.
Yeah,
you're giving up like 40 fucking points in a game. Like it literally can't get worse.
And the players are like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Like they don't want to play for him. They like just and nobody likes him except for I guess Matt LaFleur because it's his friend or some shit.
Like, I mean, it might be a matter of like whose decision does that, come down to, and like what was promised and what was all. That's all like backroom dealing shit.
Yeah, somebody put together the theory of like they don't want to fire him now so that the next coordinator knows they aren't going to get fired mid-season or something.
Yeah, I mean that's partly a thing.
Yeah. So like I can understand
if you
that.
suck, you get fired. That's how that should work.
But like we can make the playoffs if our team just plays average defense, not even good defense, just average. That's all we need. Just the ability to stop like 3rd and 15s. And we just can't do it. In fact, our defense ranks 22nd in yards per play, 25th in expected points added, 22nd in takeaways, 26th passer rating allowed, 29th in interceptions, 22nd in sacks, 28th in yards rushed per game, 21st in scoring, 25th in adjusted net yard, 25th in third down percentage, and 31st in plays per drive.
Yeah.
It's bad.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, and didn't you have a lot of draft picks on that defense, don't you?
We have spent all of our first round draft picks on defense, except for Jordan Love, who I will say is looking pretty good. All right. If I told you Jordan Love's stats were, hold on, 3,700 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions, I'd say that's pretty good. But then I'd tell you that's Aaron Rodgers from last year. Jordan Love has thrown for 3,400 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. So he's actually going to do better, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty good.
Yeah. Plus, we were just talking about Justin Fields running for 400-something yards. Jordan Love has actually rushed for 234 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, like, he's actually ran around. Like, the big thing for me, again, with the eye test, right, is that Jordan Love has shown flashes of, like, insane quarterback play, like making crazy, like some of the Chief games throws he made, or like there's been some throws earlier in the year, like back shoulder throws, like insane placement. But then he'll also have points where his footwork just falls apart and he just like misses stuff. But it's gotten better as the years gone on. So he's shown that he can get better. Like, you know, he can learn and progress and everything, right? Like, even with this game, like, the whole first half of the year, people were like, his completion percentage, like, it was at 55, 56, 50, 53, 63. Well, the last 5 weeks, it's been 67, 68, 69, 64. In this game, it was 74. So, like, and he's throwing for, like, 284 yards. Not like he's throwing for, like, nothing. He's throwing, like, long passes and stuff. So, like, he's clearly improving. The offense is improving. Our receivers are doing great. They're all like rookies and second year guys. The rookie tight ends are looking great. The offensive line's been blocking. And it's just like, all right, guys, we're coming together. And then the defense is just like, what if we give Baker Mayfield his best game of his life? What if we give Tommy DeVito the best game of his life? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hate it. Anyway, the Buccaneers are clearly a better complete team, I think. But there was no reason.
That's strange to say, even.
It is. But there was no reason for them to put together that insane of a stat line. Like, I still think, like, it would have been a much closer game. I think it would have been like 27-24 if we at least stopped them, like, once or twice. But like I hated it. It was so bad. So yeah, we'll probably spend some more first round picks on defense. Is what it boils down to. But again, like I said, if we can just beat the Panthers, Vikings, and Bears, we make the playoffs. 95% chance. So if they can fix things up, then we can roll.
Fix things up. I see what you're saying. Grease the right palms. Yeah.
Then we get to go to the playoffs and lose right away the Cowboys or Eagles, which would be very fun. Anyway, then the Jets lost 30-0.
Whatever. It's just like I'll be honest, like I did not have this game on my other screen.
Yeah.
I just had Red Zone on.
Yeah.
I checked in and saw if there was any reason for me to watch the game on my other screen, and there obviously wasn't. And now, the one thing that I do want to note about this game is that this is a 30-0 loss against the Dolphins, where, in fairness, Zach Wilson got injured.
Yep. But they also did not have Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, is that that's what I was about to get to, was so in fairness, we lost Zach Wilson in the game, but also in fairness, he's Zach Wilson. So then the other part is Tyreek Hill was out for this game and we lost 30-0. And also, by the way, he was out for my fantasy football opponent in the playoffs, and I lost there too. So it was a double burn. So thank you, Jets. That was wonderful.
Tua went 21 of 24.
Yep. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty
Basically
good.
had no problem at all.
Yeah.
The Dolphins were pissed off, to be fair, as well.
Yeah.
In this
They
game,
just
having
lost
come
to the
off that
Titans. Yeah.
heartbreaking Titans crumbling, I suppose is what I would call that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this was just an all-out shellacking, if you will.
Yeah.
Real bad.
And with that, the Jets are eliminated.
Yep.
Whamp.
And none of the coaches will be fired. Not even Nathaniel Hackett. Not even Nathaniel fucking Hackett. I actually, does anyone have the stats up? I'm going to look up these fucking stats.
Look up the stats. I will
I
say,
need to know how bad.
there are some people that were like, Aaron Rodgers got injured despite the Green Bay Packers, so they wouldn't get the Jets first rounder. And I was like, are you insane? Like, are you actually just dumb? Like, okay, we don't get a late first rounder. We instead get like a top 5 second rounder. Oh no.
Yeah, but and also like what Aaron Rodgers is getting injured as like a draft pick scam. Like, what is he getting paid under the table? Like, how does that work? What does he care?
Yeah, he
about a draft pick.
Yeah.
Well, also, so I decided to look it up. The Jets are, of course, last in the league in yards per game. Which is 255 total offensive yards per game, by the way.
That's crazy.
That's a good one. Let's take a look at points per game, because that's got to be pretty low too. And amazingly, we're not the lowest still, and that's mostly because our defense scores points sometimes.
Right.
So we're at 14.4 points per game. So if you can score a little bit more than 2 touchdowns per game, you can beat the Jets. The only ones lower than us are the Giants and the Patriots at 13.5 for the Giants and 13.3 for the Patriots, respectively.
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah.
New York Jets.
You know what is going to happen, though, is they're going to win their next 3 games straight and ruin
Almost
their draft
certainly.
pick.
Yeah.
And just give you nothing. Nothing
Yep.
at all.
That's exactly how the Jets do it. That's as soon as they're eliminated from playoff contention, they are fucking the Super Bowl team.
Yep.
Yes.
It's amazing.
I will say, still, the Jets, I mean, we still get their second rounder. So currently the Packers have their own first rounder, the Jets second, our third, and then Buffalo's third, and then we have 2 fourths from a comp pick. So like we're looking pretty good for drafting. I'm pretty happy with that.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you look at the Jets, you could say that's a team that doesn't need a lot of help, right?
Right.
So,
Theoretically.
We don't have a second round draft pick. Thankfully, we still have 1 first round pick and 2 fourth rounders, but then no 5th and a 6th and 2 7ths. So basically, we just don't have very many picks this season.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good. That's gonna be That's gonna be good.
Yeah. But anyway, I forgot. That was my last Packard thing of the day, which was Matt LaFleur asked if he was going to take a bigger role in the defense to fix communication issues that he said dumbfounded him yesterday, and he answered absolutely. So I guess Matt LaFleur is now our defensive coordinator, partially. So great.
He's an offensive guy, isn't he?
He is, but I feel like you learn about a defense by scheming up how to beat a defense, right? Like that makes sense.
One would think, but
again, theoretically, that should
it should make sense. Listen, like I
you
said,
got a guy like Robert Saleh who doesn't know what an offense is.
I already said you could have Matt LaFleur pull up a thing of Madden and hit like Ask Madden defense and run that play, and it's going to be better than whatever Joe Barry's doing.
Weren't they doing that a couple of years ago? It was going to be like a democratic football league where the fans punch in their play, the play that they want on their phones.
Oh, I think they were. There was something happening like that, or there's a league doing that, I think.
Yeah,
I remember. That.
I wonder if that ever happened. I would like to see what happens.
I actually would too.
I would be really funny if it was just Hail Mary every play.
That would be funny. Then we had Chiefs Patriots, which the Patriots actually played not terribly
for a portion.
Yeah, for like the first half.
Yeah.
Zappy was doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the Chiefs remembered that they're the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they're still not looking great.
No.
They're definitely not.
Rasheed Rice is looking pretty great, dude.
Yeah, Rasheed Rice is looking
bright
very
spot
good.
there at least.
Yeah. Which, what was he? Was he a second?
First rounder, wasn't he?
He was a second rounder.
Second rounder.
This year was like wide receiver stag. Like we got Jaden Reed in the second round. Jordan Addison was a first rounder. Like there were a lot of good wide receivers
That's
this year.
interesting. Yeah, you could get offensive players in the early rounds. I didn't know that.
You can,
Interesting.
but everybody else can.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chiefs just beat the Patriots. Patriots 2 of 12 on third down. That's not good.
That's all we really have to say about
That's really all, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, honestly.
Bailey Zappi looked okay. That's
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
He
The
did.
Zappy season.
You're
You
telling
got
me he's
Zap
not like a
Jones?
3 touchdown guy. Like
Yeah.
your defense is supposed to.
I just
let that happen.
every time I look through their roster, it's just like guys where I'm like, that guy used to be good on a different team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of
Devontae
those.
Parker, Ezekiel Elliott, Jabril Peppers. Yeah, it's the
Yep.
whole freaking roster.
Mike Gesicki, former Dolphin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jalen
Yeah,
Reagor.
Jalen Rager, yeah.
Like, man.
They have a man named Chris Board.
Chris Board.
Chris
The
Board of
Chris
fucking
Board.
Patriots football. Let's move on.
Yeah. And Bill Belichick will probably leave or get fired at the end of the year.
Well, they were talking about a trade, right?
Oh, yeah.
It
Maybe.
was worth like a first rounder.
Oh,
the
yeah. He would
Chargers
definitely be
or
a
something?
maybe 2 first rounders.
Chargers would do it.
Yeah.
Wait,
But would Bill do it? That's the thing.
that's
Right.
yeah. Texans beating the Titans in overtime. This game looked like it could have been a tie. Also,
Really
Will
close.
Levis got hurt in overtime, but apparently he's okay. He just had a sprained ankle or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad. But this was also
he was walking around by the end of the game, wasn't he? I feel like
yeah, he was doing better. He said it could have been worse, but this was Case Keenum, by the way.
Case Keenum.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Case Keenum beat the
Minnesota
Texans.
Miracle Case Keenum.
Yep, that is
Houston
and-
legend in more than one way.
Yep.
Because
Well, actually, yeah, wasn't he was on the Texans originally, right? Before he went to Minnesota.
well, he was also on the Cougars, the Houston Cougars.
Wow, yeah, he's been playing since 2013.
Yeah, he's been playing a long time now.
Yeah, he went Houston, St. Louis. Then they changed to the Los Angeles Rams. He was on the St. Louis Rams. Minnesota.
He was born in Texas, man. He's a Texas boy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like he's put together a pretty good career for a backup QB.
Yeah.
he's good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was with Denver the year after Minnesota. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And then Washington, Cleveland, Buffalo, Houston. So he's been around. But Devin Singletary ran for 121. It's pretty good.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He had like one bad game out of the last 5. He's been solid.
Yeah. And this was pretty much all the Texans wanted. Just a game where you don't have your starter and then you still win in a playoff race.
So that's,
Yeah.
that's Fall Guys legend, Devin Singletary.
Yep,
Shit.
yep. The Fall Guys legend.
Dude, the Texans are 1,000,000% still in contention for this division.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, this
they
division
definitely
is very
are.
bad.
I mean, the Colts are also in
Good
contention.
point.
Don't get tricked into thinking the Colts are good just because they beat.
I don't
the
think they're
shitty-ass
good.
Steelers.
I think they can win the division, though.
The
Yeah.
Texans play the Colts in the very last game of the season. That could actually be for the division.
It could, depending on how the Jaguars do. But
Yeah,
Well, I
they're
mean,
kind
they-
of slipping.
The Colts are on their like 3rd QB, right? And the Texans are only on their 2nd. So
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
that'll give them an edge.
The math works out
yeah,
there.
but it's Minshew magic. with
Yeah.
the Colts. You never know.
Yeah.
I think the big stat here that stands out for me is Derrick Henry had 16 carries for 9 yards.
Yeah.
I think Derrick Henry has reached his point of no return.
Yeah, it's
Possible.
not looking great. I mean,
I don't know how much
What's
of it's
his
to
year
blame on
like?
the O-line over there, but
yeah, I think their
he's-
O line
Pretty
is
bad.
bad.
I mean, their O line is horrible. Yeah.
Even statistically speaking, though, he's having a good year still.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's
Is
Derrick
he?
Henry. So his standards are a little higher. I recognize
Yeah.
that, but I mean, he's got what? He's got like 900 yards on the ground this year. He's got
Yeah.
10 TDs. Like he's having a pretty good year.
yeah.
I mean, 10 touchdowns is a lot. Yeah.
If the
It's
Titans want to just
3.8
give them
yards
to
per
us,
attempt, though.
I'll do it.
That's true. Yeah, his yards per attempt has sunk quite a bit.
Yeah,
that's a bit worrying. But honestly, other than that, like, yeah, it's a solid year for him.
I mean, he's 29,
considering.
So
yeah.
I mean, this is usually 30. Isn't that around the time when like primary backs start falling off a bit?
But it's honestly more attempts.
Yeah,
and I don't know what the exact number of attempts are, but right now Derrick Henry's about to be close to 2,000.
Yeah,
dude, they used to give him like 25 or 30 touches a game. He had his usage for sure back in the day.
In 2020 he had 378 attempts.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 2,000 yards, 17 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's only got 230 this year.
That's
so
the craziest.
His usage is certainly gone
he was
down
averaging 5.4 yards a carry on 378 attempts.
Yeah.
The dude was a monster.
Yeah.
Well, the team was better then too.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
You
know, like the team is shitty now, so I mean that's gonna affect him.
Yeah, I do think he's still good. I think the O-line is probably very bad because it is bad. Because I remember watching the Titans games and being like, "Wow, this O-line's terrible." So that is part of it. I think maybe they don't re-sign him now, or maybe like
probably. Yeah, I don't know.
I'd love to see him on a new team, man.
Yeah,
I'm sure he could succeed in a few different places right now.
He probably could.
So to put this into perspective, Derrick Henry has been playing since 2016, right?
Yep.
Christian McCaffrey has been playing since 2017, and Christian McCaffrey has total 1,269 attempts, whereas Derrick Henry has 1,980. So.
And that doesn't even include playoffs, right? Although I don't know how many playoffs.
No, probably not. Yeah.
You know what I realize is that this is his contract year.
Oh,
so he will be a free
probably.
Agent. And I read that because there's a quote from this last game where he said, I had a hope of kind of slipping into the playoffs, then being eliminated. I've been here my whole career. Definitely wanted to go out strong, which isn't the case. So that definitely sounds like he's leaving.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. They might try to give him a bag. Like, I feel like the Titans kind of rely on his presence.
But I don't even know if he wants to go back. Like, I think he'd rather go win somewhere at this point.
Yeah, he's going to probably want to go somewhere.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But like, as a business decision for Tennessee, I feel like it's probably something they ought to at least consider.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would think like he's their the entire revenue for their
franchise right now.
Yeah, like he's the guy that they have like the giant 80-foot long poster of outside the state hanging on the stadium.
Yeah.
So
I mean, let's be real. If you put Derrick Henry in San Francisco, he's probably still doing pretty well.
Oh yeah,
your whore mouth. That kind of talk.
I am trying to think now, like what places would make sense for him to go to try to win. It would be kind of the Niners.
I thought Buffalo right away. I don't know why.
Okay, Buffalo would be good. Yeah, I can see that. Maybe the Chiefs if they've got the money, which I don't know if they do.
I mean, the 49ers are the ones with the fucking cap space.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Like he might actually go and be
Henry McCaffrey backfield, dude.
Running back by committee with Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry.
Dude's they're just running a Pro Bowl team.
Yeah, seriously.
They're just not going to pass. They're just going to stop passing.
Why would they?
So anyway, the Titans suck, and they're probably on a path towards rebuilding with Will Levis. So that's that.
But he's looked pretty good.
But he has looked pretty good, yeah. I think he's shown definite flashes of being a good starting quarterback.
For sure.
49ers, Cardinals. Man, who would have seen this one coming?
Cards put up 30, dude. I mean, I know a lot of garbage time points there, but still, they certainly showed up at least a little bit better on offense than we expected. But yeah, this was just domination, obviously.
Yeah.
As every week we continue to find out that if the Niners get to do this, they won't lose. There is not a team that can beat them.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are.
He's getting fucking MVP, dude. We better just accept it now. It's happening.
Yeah, he might. Dude, Shanahan, man.
Can we just
so
give him
like
the
a
MVP?
poem? Shanahan. Wherefore out thou, Shanahan.
Where
Jennifer
Asmanistan.
What's funny is McCaffrey has gone on record as saying that his vote would be for Purdy, but Purdy has voiced, or sorry, no, I meant the opposite. Purdy has gone on record as saying,
yeah, we talked about
his vote would be for McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad.
You
yeah,
idiot.
We had our little.
You moron.
Next time I'll pull up the Discord on a laptop so that while I'm doing my stream, I can simultaneously hear what conversation topics have been covered.
All right,
That's
thank
a good
you.
idea. Good plan.
49ers are good.
Yeah, 49ers. I mean, it just,
Yeah, 49ers are good.
I mean, they're probably going to be in the Super Bowl, right? Like we keep saying that, but that's like.
I would be worried if I was a Niners fan, just because like there's a team like this every year that's just like. Yeah, this happens in sports all over, where it's like, this is the team, the team, and then they go out in the first round.
Yeah. I mean, sports commentary is just reactionary as you can be.
Yeah.
Like it's based on weekly stuff. Like if you do good one week, they're like, this team is really doing it.
But I mean, for the last
and we are above that here.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we never succumb to that.
We're much better.
Yeah.
But for the last like 3+ weeks, it's been pretty clear. This is the best team in the league.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Not really much debate about it.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Hold on. My OBS just made ding noises. Let me make sure it works.
Uh-oh.
That's a good idea.
Okay, it's working.
Yeah,
Things
you
are
scared
working.
me.
I think we're okay.
Solid.
We should be fine.
What was the ding noise though? Because that's still worrying.
That is still worrying. All right, hold on. I'm gonna stop it and then I'll just piece it. There we go. Now we're rolling again.
And
I'm not taking any.
Jesus Christ!
We're not taking any chances after the 1 week. So anyway, that game happened. Cool. Next we had what did we have? I lost my thing.
Commanders, Rams.
Commanders.
Yep. Commanders, Rams.
Caramders.
Yep. Rams dominated up until garbage time, and then
Remanders.
Yes. Oh, Jacoby Brissett came into this game.
Yeah,
Jacoby
he did pretty
Brissett.
good.
Whoa.
Go Biscuits.
He threw two touchdowns.
Yeah, he was available in the offseason. That's funny, isn't it? Isn't that funny?
That's really funny.
That's pretty funny. Did Howell get injured? I didn't watch this game.
I think they just put Biscuits in.
Oh, they just gave up?
I think they did, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so. I don't see anything
4-10 for fuck's sake.
That's kind of fucked up. Because I don't think he was even really doing that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam Howell, too. Yeah, he's supposed to be the dude there.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, why would you... I guess he has 15
It's-
interceptions, but I mean, like...
Listen, I don't know about the Commanders' coaching staff either. I think they're not great. But that might be another one where they're replacing everybody, to be honest. If that's probably a Brandon Staley location. They'll be like, hey, bring him in.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right in.
I had a small tangential Brandon Staley rant that I wanted to get on during this Chargers segment that I obviously missed.
All right.
Oh, yeah, hit it.
What's the deal with everybody clowning on him for doing yoga?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I did see that too. Listen,
Like, I'm so upset by it. Everyone's playing the same fucking clip of him on the sidelines, putting his butt out in the air. Oh, look, he's shoving his butt out. My man's taking care of
he's
himself.
just doing yoga. I do that. I do that yoga thing like twice a week at the gym. Like,
You know, he's gonna be fucking laughing is him when you're 45 years old and you can't move your back anymore because all you ever move to do is wake up and take a shit.
yeah. Well, you know the guy making fun of that already is probably some dude that's like 45 sitting there like, young man, like, you know it is. The same guy
That's all I
that's
had
complaining.
to say. I got mad because I kept seeing that clip on every goddamn media outlet, and I was like, "Why are you laughing at that?"
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm with you. Go yoga.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's the same
Yoga
guys.
fire.
It's the same
Yeah,
guys
also
that are
that.
just like, I can make that pass. Put me out there.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't.
I'll stretch when I'm dead.
Why doesn't this
Yeah.
kick better?
Just kick better, yeah. So the Rams win. Honestly, the Rams are looking like the hot team for the wild card right now.
Yeah.
Like they're looking pretty good.
Didn't we made like predictions. I already forgot what the hell
Yeah.
our predictions were. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
I
Mine
said
were fucking terrible.
I said Rams Packers, so I've still got hope. I think Bear put the Giants in there, so
Sure did.
it's not looking great.
Super confident there.
Yeah, I don't remember what Rob said, but he said a amalgamation of like teams and words that I think might line up.
I think I also said Bears.
I think you did, which also not looking great.
I still believe.
Still gotta believe. Then we had Bills Cowboys.
God, I love being right about
dude, this man exposure.
Yeah, this was a terrible loss for the Cowboys. Not only because they got just beat up, because they literally got beat up. Like, they had numerous injuries this game, which is not good towards the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. They didn't just lose; they looked bad doing it. Like, it was all bad. Everything about it was bad.
Bro, Josh Allen was 7 of 15 this game. Like,
yeah, James Cook.
What the fuck?
Well, I mean, just like 266 rushing yards.
Yeah.
It's
that's total domination. That reminds me of the game where the Pats beat the Bills by like literally almost exclusively running.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing, dude.
I think Josh Allen was quoted as saying he felt like the person in a class where he didn't write the paper, or like he just showed up for the group project. That's pretty funny.
I mean, he did rush for a touchdown too, but
he did.
He's just part of the how many is it? Like 50 carries for the Bills this game.
That's wild.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, that was. I think we've found the blueprint to beat the Cowboys now, which is just run the ball.
Run.
Like, man, that's rough. But
the Cowboys could not do anything on offense. Dak was 21 of 34. This is not an awful stat line, but
0 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yeah, they went 5 of 13 on third, 14 first downs. Yeah, just couldn't get it done.
This is a reminder that this is a Mike McCarthy coach team. Just gonna really put that one out there. Like, Mike McCarthy is still the football coach of this team. The Mike McCarthy that I complained about for years on this show. And maybe he's improved. However, last year I saw him do things that were not improved. So I can't imagine he changed much more here. So I remember there were some Cowboys people being like, yeah, Cowboys, after they won last week. And I was like, once they win a playoff divisional game, I will be like, all right, these Cowboys are for real. But until then, they're the Cowboys of what we've seen.
It is wild to think, though, like, these Cowboys beat the Eagles badly, and then the Bills beat them badly. But I still don't know what would happen with Bills-Eagles right now.
I don't think the Eagles are as good as we think they are.
I agree with that, but I'm just like, I don't even know how much of a barometer we can use this as.
I think the Bills are better than the Eagles. I mean, they pretty much beat the Eagles if that guy doesn't kick a 61-yarder in the rain.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I was just looking at the Cowboys record. Like, they have only one really good win, which is like the Eagles, and they split the season as 1-1. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. They are looking like they also got fucking destroyed by the Niners 42-10.
I mean, they beat the Rams, which I guess can be good.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that they're like, I mean, I think Rams and Seahawks are in that category of like, that's a pretty good win.
Yeah, but even the Seahawks, they could have lost. It was like a shootout, and there was refs. Like, I don't know. It's definitely, they're not like they're not like a Ravens or a 49ers or something where you're just like, yeah, this team is good. They still got their. And now they play the Dolphins. I feel like, and the Lions. These next 2 weeks are actually pretty huge for them to kind of show who they are.
This might be an 11-6 team at the end of the year, man.
It could be.
It could be.
And the Bills are they're starting to play their best football. So,
and the best time to do that.
Yeah. Yep. And they play Chargers, Patriots, Dolphins. So, I mean, at this point, with the Dolphins,
Bills are in, dude.
Bills are looking like they should be in, but the Dolphins playing the Cowboys, Ravens. So, like, if they lose those games, you have a divisional battle at the last week of the season.
Yeah.
So, but I think the Dolphins will win one of those. Specifically, the Cowboys.
Does that mean, could it possibly, with the divisional standings, still decide the division, though, if the Bills win and tie with their record?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
We'll find out, I guess.
Yeah, I think it is. But I think because actually, I don't know, but I think whatever. We'll figure it out.
Dolphins are better in the Dolphins have a better division record. So,
so they would have the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Better conference record too, actually.
Yeah. All right. Well, then we had Ravens Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is
I actually didn't watch this game really.
I think Lawrence
Watch bits of it.
I think Lawrence is more hurt than they're letting on.
Oh, he definitely is.
Yeah.
This was it's weird because it was one of those games where you watch the Jags drive down the field over and over and over, and they just don't do anything. And on that, like, it's very weird.
Yeah,
because the Jags were like kind of outplaying the Ravens for like the whole first half. Yet it was like 10-0 at the half. Ravens, like, it's just, I don't know what's going on with the Jags, man.
I don't either.
It's tough to it's similar to the Chargers situation, except this team doesn't really have any excuses anymore.
Yeah.
Like they have the right coaching in place, they've got the right players in place, they should be executing, but I don't know. It's tough to explain.
I mean, they don't have like an amazing receiving core, but like, I mean, I
should be
think
good enough.
like
it's Calvin Ridley and Zay Jones. I mean, that's not bad.
It's not
Calvin
bad.
Ridley just doesn't. I don't know what's going. Like, as a Calvin Ridley fantasy owner, I don't know what the fuck's going on there.
Yeah, he's a fucking anomaly this year.
But like,
ETN has had a pretty good year. He's got 800 yards, 9 touchdowns, and he even has 400 receiving yards.
Yeah, he's been a big part of the receiving game too. Like, they've got weapons. Evan Ingram's been having a great year. Like, I don't know. It's strange.
In fact, ATN is probably like the Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey style of guy. Like, he can do everything.
Yeah, with those many receiving yards and receptions, like I would say so. He seems to be moving in that direction, which is cool. So,
but I think if you look at Trevor Lawrence's stats, like, he's got 3,500 yards, 18 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, which is like, it's good. But again, they marketed this guy as like the second coming of Peyton Manning. And like, he's not looked like that. He's looked like a starting quarterback, but he's looks like many other starting quarterbacks that are good.
Yeah.
So, and I will say the first year, I wouldn't even count that. But like, last year he did 4,100 yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. And then this year, a little off. But now I think he's getting banged up a little more. It's starting to add up. Like, he got the ankle thing. Now he's in concussion protocol. Like,
well, I mean, I want to mention again, he is one of those QBs that has had a different signal caller or a different play caller every single season, that he's been in the league. So that it's tough. It's difficult. That's difficult for anybody, let alone a young guy,
Yeah.
Like,
the Jags defense is bottom 5 in yards allowed in the air this year, and also bottom 5 in touchdowns allowed in the air. So that helps explain a little bit.
That would do it.
In fact, let's see. They're giving up how many points per game? Typically, like
question.
31, 34, I guess 23 last week. They gave up 34 to the 49ers. Although then they have games where it's like 10 to the Steelers, 14 to the Titans.
Well, let's see.
But, those are also not very strong teams in comparison.
Yeah, they're
the Falcons.
22.5 points per game allowed, so they're probably middle of the pack there. But.
Yeah. I don't know. The Jaguars are just a weird team. And like, I think they're gonna make the playoffs still, but
they have the 12th worst points per game defense.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
bottom half.
We'll see. I mean, they play. Who do they play for these finals? Oh yeah,
they
Bucks,
play
Panthers,
McDonald
Titans.
next season. Next
week.
That's
fun.
Yeah, so they should win 2 of those 3.
Yeah,
easily.
Yes.
Yeah. Like that.
They should still make the
arguably, they
playoffs.
should be winning all 3 of those games.
They should win all 3, but they should at least win 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
So if they don't, that is bad. And they'd probably lose the division if they don't, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then
Ravens, meanwhile, on a fucking sprint to the first seed.
yeah, they are the only team that has clinched a playoff spot in the AFC.
Yeah,
so funny to me because like every game they play, I'm just I call me biased, but even this game, I know it's 23-7.
I will.
But like it was 10-7 leading into the fourth quarter, and the Ravens just didn't do anything all game. But they just also happened to have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who also didn't do anything all game. The Jags missed 2 field goals, and just all around, like I think I remembering now because I watched this game. 2 missed field goals, and then there was one where they were driving again, and Trevor Lawrence in the red zone straight up dropped the ball, like he was running and he got a first down, and then he fell down, and as he was falling down, the ball just went blip out of his hands, and it was a fumble.
Like Saquon Barkley,
it was so strange, and it's just I don't know, man. Every Ravens game should have like a little asterisk on it where it was just like, well, actually, they didn't really play that good, but here we are.
The Minnesota Vikings of 2023-24.
Yeah, I can see it. I could legit see them busting out super hard in the first round to a bad team.
I'm going to just, I will counterpoint and say that their point differential is actually 3rd in the league. The only teams that have a higher point differential right now are the Dallas Cowboys, and we saw
the Niners.
And the Niners. Yeah. And the Cowboys, we saw how you see their schedule, right? Like they played the Giants twice and scored 40 points on them each time. So I mean
the Ravens got to play the Steelers, so that's not,
the biggest thing I see,
and they lost to them. I forgot.
Yeah. I mean, so like the point differential that signifies like they have a good offense and defense.
The Ravens also have the best defense in the league for points against per game.
I think the Ravens defense is good, but I think their offense is uninspiring. The
Ravens' entire offense to me is running. If you look at their number 1 at rushing yards per game at 163.
Yeah.
If you look at their passing game, it is middle of the pack. I can't even find them on this. Where the shit are they?
There they are.
That's just they're like 20th in passing. So this is a team that plays defense and runs the ball. That's what they do.
It's counteracted by the amount of times that Lamar carries the ball. It's just it's just like a simple matter of there's not going to be as many opportunities to throw.
Yeah.
But that's their game. If you can stop the run, this team will fall apart. Like that's really
in theory. They still again, you still have Lamar Jackson throwing over the top. It's just Mark Andrews, and that's the thing.
Not Mark Andrews.
Well, that's true. Yeah, but
I mean, that is the plan to beat them. You have to stop the run. That's what it is, which is easier said than done. But
it's a big thing of just if you can keep Lamar from doing his Lamar things. Which
is also easier said than done.
Yeah, the Jags actually did. I posted in the Discord when I was watching this game. I thought this game was going to be a blowout for the Ravens because on the first drive, the Jags could not stop Lamar from doing his Lamar thing. He was just bouncing out of the pocket and being like, either I'm running or I'm throwing and you're fucked. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this game's over. But then they got a field goal, and then the Jags went like, okay, let's not let this fucking continue. This needs to stop. And then they stopped it, and then they started getting some sacks. They picked them off. They solved that issue, and again, they still lost because the Jags don't have an offense for some reason. But
that reminds me, I remember I mentioned it. Hold on.
Okay,
there he goes.
Sorry, but there's a play in this game where Lamar Jackson runs laterally 20 fucking yards and is chased by 3 guys. Yeah, and a guy hooks him on the head and he ducks underneath.
It was cool what Lamar did, but that tackle was awful. Dude tried to grab him on the top of his helmet for some reason. That's gonna work.
And important to note, it was also a terrible decision on the throw. He threw across his body about 40 yards, to try to get 10, and into double coverage. That was right on the edge of being triple coverage, and the guy miraculously came down with it. But even still, it was just an incredible fucking play, and it's just one of those things that only a handful of guys can do that, and Lamar Jackson is one of them. So
Krendor has actually sold me on this being this is a Vikings scenario where they're gonna. I would be genuinely not shocked at all if the Ravens lost in the first round to the Bengals or something.
Like, to me, the Ravens are a team
Broncos.
that any other year where there's numerous good teams, they're probably a 3 or a 4. But I think because there's so many bad teams, they're a 1 or a 2.
I don't know. The thing is, if I'm looking at the other teams in the AFC right now, I don't know that any of them are that much more dominant than the Ravens.
We're gonna get preview questions will be answered Monday night. Christmas night. The Ravens play the 49ers.
Yep.
Christmas night.
That
the Raven.
We will see if the Ravens are competitive or if they fall to the 42-7. I think that questions will be answered.
This will be
deal. Yeah.
This is legit a playoff preview.
This is great for me because either my Brock Purdy narrative will be correct or my Ravens narrative will be correct. And I can't lose unless it's a 63-60 win.
Yeah, that's absolutely gonna happen now too. Yeah.
Well, then we had the Seahawks Eagles.
Oh boy, this was a good game. This was at the end, particularly the fourth quarter. This was exciting. Yes. This was fun.
Drew Lock was dropping dimes in, man. I forgot he was even in the league. My God,
he shut the fuck up. That was great.
I thought you told him to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up to Krendor as well.
You shut the fuck up.
Let's just pretend I did. I liked that reaction a lot more.
I'm just gonna start doing that to you guys when you say something.
Fun. Go for it.
But say it in a happy voice, oh, you shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up.
He's in on it. You get it.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts looked bad.
You shut the fuck up.
It's so good.
It was maybe a little too soon, but
a little too soon.
Yeah, Hurts was having a rough go of it. 2 interceptions, 17 of 13. Oh my God, 17 of 31 for 143 yards, and they went 9 for 16 to third down, which was pretty damn good. But overall, Hurts was struggling a little bit.
Jalen Hurts was playing all right. He's mainly running for 82 yards and 2 touchdowns, but then just end of the game when he's had to make some crucial throws, he threw an interception that allowed the Seahawks to get the ball and go down, and then the Love interception, not Jordan Love,
dude. I want to give a lot more of the credit to Julian Love for those plays, though, man, because that was some incredible. It was
an insane catch.
He's the safety, right? Because my goodness, he was just he wasn't even close on either play. He was way on the other side of the field, but just instantly reacted to it and full speed sprinted over. The fact that he got the second one after sprinting over there at fucking probably 20 miles an hour, and then somehow by some miracle his left foot caught the other player's leg and then bounced back down onto the turf while he dragged his right toes. Oh my God, that was ridiculous.
It was an insane interception on top. They made some crazy catches at the end of that game.
Yeah,
offense and defense. But
that
Seahawks,
Drew Lock dime at the very end for the final touchdown, beautiful throw.
Yeah. Seahawks are just take your washed up backup quarterbacks and they're just we'll start them and they'll do well.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker had a big game. 19 carries, 86 yards in the TD. He had that huge 23-yard run to start the third too.
Yeah.
I think he's got to be having a pretty good year, I think, right? I mean,
he's doing pretty good.
Yeah. I think so.
Look him up.
Look him up.
Looking him up.
The Seahawks actually have a decent schedule to wrap things up. They got Titans, Steelers, Cardinals.
They're kind of like the Rams right now. They're both teams are making noise.
Yeah, although I do trust the Rams more because they have Matt Stafford.
Rams did beat the Seahawks earlier as well. Yeah. So plus the edge there, but
I don't know if Drew Lock also has the capability to keep this going.
I feel like DK Metcalf didn't catch a ball until the fourth quarter, and he ended up with 5 for 78.
Yeah,
Yeah.
One of which being the crazy throw he threw to him in double coverage.
Yeah, god damn, that was Lamar-esque.
Yeah.
So Kenneth Walker, by the way, 720 yards on the year and 7 touchdowns. So he might break 1,000 yards for 2 years in a row. So
yeah,
solid year.
Yep.
But yeah, Seahawks keep their playoff hopes alive in the shitty NFC. So we'll see.
This
what
weirdly
happens.
doesn't even matter that much for the Eagles. Like, obviously, they're still kind of in contention for the number 1 seed. But I think it's safe to assume that the 49ers are going to get it. But then even still, the Eagles' remaining schedule is just Giants.
Well, I think the Eagles
Giants.
just want
they're gonna,
the division, so they get home field if
and
they play the
they're
Cowboys.
almost certainly still going to get it. Is what I'm saying. Like, this loss hardly mattered in the grand scheme of things.
Let's see. They play Giants, Cardinals, Giants.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would hope they get versus the Cowboys.
Well, there is magic involved.
That's true. There is magic.
Hard to fight that.
Yeah, we'll see. But that's pretty much all the games of the week.
Yep.
So it's time for Power Ranking. So here we go. Top 5 NFL.com Power Ranking powered by rankings. Starting with Rob.
Oh shit, dude! They're powered by rank.
Down in Illinois.
Yep.
I am going to pick the Ravens.
Yep. Bear.
I'll choose the 49ers.
Yep. Paul.
Why does it suddenly get hard?
We got one for sure. Come on.
The Lions?
Come on now.
Rob.
Got one for sure here.
It's the Dolphinos.
That's the one.
Bear.
Oh.
That'd be the one. But now I guess probably the Eagles.
Yep. And Apollo.
Maybe they like the Chiefs again? I don't know.
Rob.
It's the Cowboys.
It is the Dallas Cowboys at
But
number
how?
3.
Because it's the Cowboys.
man.
How are the
Both of
Cowboys
them-
above the Dolphins?
After a loss.
Yeah, I don't.
That's particularly weird. Yeah.
Ed, he's on the
Ed
take.
Home
He's just on the take, Ed. We know it.
Yeah.
We
the
see it.
Cowboys.
We see you
If
getting
anyone
those.
can get paid under the table to be injured, anything's possible, right?
Yeah. You
got
know
it.
what, Jerry? I would look into Jerry Jones and Dan Hans' situation. I'm
Yep.
just saying. I'm just saying. You know?
Has anyone heard from Dan Hansis lately? Is he even alive anymore?
He might
Yeah.
not be.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Jerry Jones has skeletons.
Oh, I'm sure he does. Thinnest.
Yeah, he really does. Yeah.
Just this decoration.
Thinnest. Dink.
Give me the Ravens, maybe?
No.
I don't think anybody's gonna get this one.
How many numbers?
5.
Is it? 5 numbers.
Oh, dude, I bet it's the goddamn Browns.
Nope.
Ooh.
Is it the Bills?
Nope.
Is it the
Bucks.
Bucks?
Nope.
The Saints.
I'm not. It's the Raiders.
I have no idea. Oh, God.
The
why?
Raiders.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess they
mean-
did score over 60.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
come
but-
on.
Yeah.
They're still the Raiders.
This is on Staley's fucking exit game.
Yeah.
Hold on his grave, man.
Yeah, but we got a fat old doink falling 6 doinks.
Wow.
I'm just gonna keep saying the Steelers until
It's
they're
the
at the bottom.
Steelers.
Yeah!
13 to 20. There it is.
Finally, Ed understands.
There are 3 teams that have changed rank every week this season. I never spent 2 straight weeks in the same spot. Who are the most sporadic teams according to the power rankings?
Is one the Giants?
Nope.
Oh.
Give me the Saints.
Nope.
the
Packers.
Texans.
Packers are one. Yep.
Nice.
Not Texans.
The Falcons.
I was
Nope.
gonna say that.
The Chargers.
Nope.
The Rams.
Nope.
The
Damn,
Broncos?
man, how many teams? We
No.
named every team.
Not the Broncos?
Nope.
No, jeez. Man, we're bad at this.
It's the Bengals
No.
Oh.
and the Buccaneers.
It had to be one NFC South team. It had
Yeah.
to.
Makes
Right.
sense. That makes sense. Wait, no, I said the Bucks. I said the Bucks.
Did you?
Oh, we both said the Bucks.
Yeah, both me and Ben said the Bucks.
I said the Bucks.
Yeah, I think Apollo actually said it.
Yeah.
Well, nobody said it, but the Buccaneers.
I said the Bucks. God damn it.
Doesn't matter. The Buccaneers, Saints, and Falcons have all spent time as the highest ranked NFC South team.
Too.
No, this is a different one. This is a different
question. They've all spent time as the highest ranked NFC South team, but which of them has been there the most?
It was a great time for a shut the hell up.
I was good.
Oh yeah.
Damn it! I was too excited. How about give me the Saints here?
I was gonna say the Bucks.
Rob?
I will say the Eagles because I didn't hear the question.
Okay. Well, it is the Saints at 9 weeks, followed by the Bucks.
I was so
at
close.
5.
I almost got it.
Yep. Typically, in Ed's power rankings, winning teams rise and losing teams fall. But this week, there's one team that won and still fell one spot. Name that team.
Oh.
Here's a hint. They're in the top half of the power rankings.
Oh.
Yeah.
They won and lost at the same time.
Yep.
Give me the Texans?
Colts?
Nope.
The Bengals?
No, everybody strikes out. It's the Cleveland Browns.
Oh.
Well, good. Fuck them.
Yeah, I agree.
Dropping
Good
from
work,
9
Ed.
to 10.
Thanks, Jerry.
And finally, deja vu. One team is ranked in the same spot they were in last year's Week 16 power rankings. Last year, they were 7-7. Who are they?
Oh.
The Broncos?
Were they 7-7 last year?
Nope.
This has got to be the Bucks.
Nope.
Or the Saints.
Is
It's an
it the
NFC South
Fox?
team, man.
No, I did not.
Oh, he did? No.
No, I
he
didn't say NFC South.
Is it the Titans?
No.
Oh.
Is it the Colts?
Nope.
Fuck.
It is
struck out.
the Detroit Lions.
Oh.
After a hot
right, 'cause
streak.
they just kept winning.
Yeah.
Dude.
Where are they ranked right
Interesting.
now?
Mm-hmm.
They are ranked 7th.
Okay.
They were 7th? They were 7-8, I think, at this point in week
7 and
16.
7
is what he said. Yeah.
7-7.
My ass got confused and thought
So
it
wait,
would be
they're
another
ranked-
7-7.
Yeah, I know.
I just want to
Yeah.
point this out. They're ranked 7th, but they are tied for the 3rd best record in the league right now.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. All right, Ed.
Yeah.
It's a little
Just want to
wacky.
point that
It's a
out.
little wacky, yeah. So yeah, they get Hanzus put them there last year when they got on their hot streak.
Yeah.
The Dan Hanzus. And that
Fucking hands.
Rip Dan.
is your Rip
Yeah,
Dan,
rest
Ed,
in
Ed, and
peace,
Eddie power ranking Bible of the internet, NFL power rankings.
Dan Hansis will be rolling in his grave.
He surely will. Now it's time for Pick'em Stats.
Thank you, Pixel.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Pixelaven.
sincerely.
For another insane stat sheet. Which, by the way, I would have been 13-4 this week if the Eagles actually won their game because I locked them.
Ah, classic.
Yeah.
I would have been
classic.
14-3 if the 2 games where the team was winning didn't throw in the last 2 seconds, i.e. Titans and Bears.
I know
Yeah.
what that's like. I've
Yeah.
been there.
Well,
Yep.
I did go 11-6. So did Rob and Bear and Chef Man. Apollo went 12-5, and Randy went 7-10, and Discord also went 12-5.
Oh, we should also mention, by the way, that Bear made it to the playoffs in our
I
fantasy-
did.
fantasy
man.
football. Yeah.
Well,
I won a fantasy playoff game for the first time in like 6 years. I'm
Oh,
so
my God.
happy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
could be a sign.
I
Yep.
want to win the whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna rep the hosts for the rest of the playoff run.
yeah, do it.
No, don't do that. Now you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Me and Apollo
Curse
are fighting
myself.
for last
Bear.
place.
I had my loss on the bench. I had more points on the bench.
Oh, I hate it. I
You
think
gotta hate
actually that happened to me against you earlier this year, though. So sweet
That's
karma.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, I think it's very funny that on the app, if you look at the breakdown for the games this week, it says like the championship semifinal, the 5th place game, and then at the bottom it says 11 game. Like it doesn't even say, it's for 11th place. It's just, and here's the 11 game if you care about that.
Game.
They just don't care anymore at that point.
So we have the Paw Prince. Apollo is now a combined 40-16, predicting cat-themed teams this season.
This is actually why they don't allow a canine team in the league. I would never get it wrong. Like, can I say, like, Paw Prince is such a good Paw Prince.
That is very good. Yeah. And there are Paw Prints on the crown as well.
Is Pixel like a writer? How do you think of this shit?
Every week he's doing it.
Yeah.
The consistency is off the charts.
It really is amazing. It's far more effort than we put into the podcast.
Coaching change with Rob. Since the introduction of the AC of the week, Rob has done much better predicting the Cardinals, but much worse with the Texans.
Oh.
Really? This is too complicated for Rob to act upon, so that's good. I'm glad that Pixel gave Rob a complicated
that's probably true.
So that we don't spend 2 minutes on one of the picks this week.
Well, I mean, I guess it's just I'm bad at if whatever I go against my first instinct with the Texans, but absolutely stick with my first instinct with the Cardinals.
I want to keep going on the shouting out Pixel train because look at how well the Discord logo is edited onto those onto the headset, man. Like this is for the niche of the niche crowd, for people that listen to this show are on Twitter and follow Pixel on Twitter or in the Discord to see the images. It's so next level.
It is very good. Please do like the posts on Twitter.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Comet Cons. Krendor moves to 0-3, predicting the Titans this December, and 3-11 overall on the season.
Like Comet Con.
Yep. He is 1-10 in the last 11 December Titans games. Yep. I am not great picking the Titans.
You get a little frowning Krendor.
Yeah. Stuck on the shelf. Even though he has picked against them for 32 straight games, the Browns are still not one of Bears' all-time 10 least picked teams. His prediction success hasn't been affected by his boycott.
That's extremely weird.
That is very strange. There are some teams that you just don't pick and haven't for years.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And Scary Terry's Randy's now 1-13 predicting the Commanders. He got the first game correct and has lost 13 in a row, the longest in podcast history.
Longest in podcast history.
Damn,
that is statistically remarkable. That's fucking hilarious. I can't believe that is true.
That's so.
It's gotta correct itself this week, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think this is the second time that he's had a Commanders-based bonus stat this year.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think there was one earlier because it's been anomalous then.
Yeah,
and it's He's got the
it's
record.
Also, thankfully, one that we can't really base our picks off of since he does it at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Also, the callback to pterodactyls. Love it.
Yep, I love that.
Yep.
And that is the bonus stats. Now it's time for pick'ems. Our assistant coach
Greg.
is Greg.
Thanks,
Coach Greg.
And he's got a turtle as his thing.
Love the turtle. Very
Does
good
he
turtle.
make sausage rolls?
What are you talking about?
You gotta help us out. Yeah.
Any of our UK fans out there, you'll know that you'll get that joke.
Oh, right. He has
You'll
the
get that
UK
one.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Greg's is a popular supermarket chain
yeah.
in the UK, and they serve sausage
He's so
rolls.
cultured.
Aren't they called,
It's amazing, right? I'm just so worldly.
I've heard that. It's like Greg's Pastries, or is that what it?
Yeah. Well,
Pasties. Yeah. That's what it is.
Greg's best predicted teams include the 49ers, Buccaneers, and Dolphins, all of which he has an 11-3 record of for the year. If you would like to have your pick'ems featured on the show like Greg the Turtle, well, you can go on over to the Patreon page, which is linked down below in the description on YouTube, or you can just search Patreon for 3 Guys and a Bear. Pledge at the assistant coach level, connect the Discord, and you too can have your picks featured on the show.
Also, I believe that's a tortoise.
Okay.
Actually, Rob, did you know that all tortoises are turtles, but not all turtles are tortoises?
Oh, it's a square rhombus thing? I didn't know that, actually.
Because it's like how saying all spaghetti is food, but not all food is spaghetti.
That's, well, arguable, but the thing that I've learned...
What? I'm not going to let you continue.
No, it's
You're
all
gonna have to
basically
explain
spaghetti.
yourself.
I mean, it's all spaghetti when you really get down to it if you use a microscope. But the thing is, the thing that I learned about the turtles and tortoises things is that the tortoises have feet and the turtles have the fins, the flippers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tortoises also just got bigger shells. Pretty sure.
That's true, but I usually just look at their feet.
I see. I know all this because I made a pointless top 10 turtles in World of Warcraft, and I went over the fact that somebody's like, make tortoises, and I go over the fact that tortoises are considered turtles because I included some. So that's why I know.
Sometimes when I would go on walks at the bird preserve that I used to live nearby, I would see turtles, and they were pretty cool.
Did you complain?
Cool.
What?
Well, you're going to the bird
Did you tell them that not all
that's a good point, yeah.
Totally going to see birds. Like, what
You go to the turtle
Yeah.
sanctuary.
I did leave them a terrible Yelp review. I think that would probably cover it.
It's like when you go to the food sanctuary and there's spaghetti and it's not food.
Yeah, that's not the same thing, clearly.
Yeah.
Thinking of a dystopian future where all food is eliminated except for spaghetti.
We have hamburger spaghetti, and we have kimchi spaghetti.
Yo, real talk though, spaghetti on a burger is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, and actually kimchi spaghetti sounds pretty good too.
We
now
did
that I
the
say it out loud.
incredibly like white person thing of having spaghetti and then putting it on like white like bread, just like a slice of white bread and folding it. Oh, it's so good though.
It's so good, dude. Absolutely.
I mean, pasta on sandwiches is a good time, actually.
It wasn't. It's
sometimes
not pasta on a sandwich. It's literally just
is
in
the
a
sandwich,
slice of white bread. Not even two, just one slice. You just fold.
it's
the
hard.
slice.
Hard.
It's a
Have you guys
cone.
ever had a mac and cheese sandwich? Because that's also
that does
equally
sound really
decadent.
good.
Yeah,
I've
it's
seen
good.
mac and cheese burgers.
Oh,
yeah,
those
yeah,
are
you
really
can do
good.
that too. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a good
so
time.
now we're really getting tangential. Top
Saints,
Golf
Rams,
used to
everybody.
have
Saints,
green chili
Rams.
mac and cheese
Hot
burger,
dog.
and they got rid of it, and I've been upset ever since.
That's pretty fucked up, honestly.
Saints, Rams.
I'll be picking the Rams.
Yeah,
here. The
Rams.
They're hot, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Rams here, but I could see the Saints winning.
Yeah, are they so hot? Because the Rams are 7-7 and they've won one, and the Saints are 7-7 and they've won 2.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
but
twice
they're-
as many.
So
That's
you gotta
twice
understand
as
the
many
Saints
points?
are inconsistent, so they're very heavily weighted to do bad this game.
That's true, but also they have 42-point differential to the Rams 17. You know what? I'm taking the Saints.
He's
You're all
taking
picking
the
Rams.
Saints.
I'm doing it.
First game of the week. That's Greg
1v4.
going Rams too.
Let's
Yep.
do it.
Following
There
your
it
stats,
is.
Robin, I'll keep being the top spot on the pick'ems, not kind of
Hey,
Discord this
I'm
year.
coming back. All right, I'm
He's
getting
coming
back
back.
in there.
Everybody's got a chance, dude. It's a wide open field at the
Yeah.
I'm
end of
just
the
saying,
year.
you guys
here.
do not want to let me be pick'em champs 2 years in a row. I'm going to start saying
You're
stuff.
already insufferable. I can't imagine how it's gonna get.
Well, at least you're good. You might. You're up for the cup in last in fantasy. Ha
I thought I got a good one there.
ha! I didn't hear what you
Bengals,
said, actually.
Steelers.
I'll be picking the Bengals.
Yeah, that's a Bengals.
Yeah, that's Bengals.
Yes, Bengals. Well, I mean, there's.
Oh, please pick the Steelers, Rob.
I mean, there's no
please pick the
chase.
Steelers.
Although I guess there's no. Yeah. All right. Whatever.
Yeah, they've been doing it without a couple pieces already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a Bengals sweep. Yep, Greg went with them as well.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Bills, Chargers.
I'm going to lock the Bills.
Yeah, it's a safe lock.
Yeah,
That's-
Bills.
Good luck.
Greg's lock as well. Greg's
Bills.
locking the Bills. I'm gonna go Bills.
Ooh,
I will
Saturday
also
nighter.
go Bills.
It's
What?
Saturday game.
Yeah, so's the Bengals, Steelers.
Oh.
And it is. And by the way, Bills Chargers. This is the coach firing buff, right?
That's
And I'm
true. It
locking
is.
and I'm
man.
locking against it.
Yeah, that's how
Mhm.
bad the fucking Chargers are.
Yeah, pretty bad. Yeah.
We've given some serious consideration to the coach buff in games where the matchup ought not to have been even close. So
Yeah.
this could be the case, but I don't know.
But now we have the intense Commanders-Jets Bowl.
Fucking hell, dude.
Jesus Christ.
I am gonna pick the Jets here. Like, I strongly believe that they will fuck over their draft position just because that's so Jets to do that.
That would be funnier.
I'm gonna take the Commanders.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna take the Commanders too, just because.
1v5 me, Jets.
0 points.
I'll take
man.
the Commanders.
All right, I'll do it, man.
I mean, they might. You're right. They might win this stupid game.
Yeah.
Lions,
It'd be very
Vikings.
much like them to do. Let's go Lions.
Lions.
Lions. Yeah.
They're back.
That's
might
close
lock
to a
them.
lock. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty lockable there.
Yeah.
That's a sweep. Greg went Lions as well.
Browns, Texans.
Texans still have life, dude. Texans still are showing
If
something.
Stroud's not playing, I don't think Keenum's going to win 2 games in a row.
He did pretty good. Well, who's the Browns? QB
Joe
right
Flacco.
Now? Is he the elite dragon back?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. I mean,
He threw 3 interceptions last game, and they still somehow won.
I'm going to go with him again. Let's go, elite dragon.
This team barely beat the Bears. I'm not sure why y'all are picking them. I'm going to
If
go
CJ
Texans.
Stroud was playing, I'd take the Texans.
I would absolutely take the Texans. If
I'll
Stroud
take
was
another
playing.
1v5. Give it to me.
He's doing it.
Yeah, I'll take Browns. Yeah.
Packers.
Obviously, I'm not picking the Browns. Yeah.
Panthers.
I'm
not
picking
Packers.
the Packers.
Yeah.
I'm going to be taking the Carolina Panthers this week.
Yeah.
Bryce
sounds
Young
fun.
will look like
not that bad,
Hall of Famer
Denver.
quarterback. They'll run for 200 yards, and if they don't, then I'll be happy.
He's got the 1v5. Greg went Pack.
Seahawks, Titans.
Hawks are looking good.
Yeah.
I'll go Hawks here.
Yeah. I mean, Will Levis should still be playing, right?
Yes, I believe
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I'll
maybe a
take
little hurt.
I'll take the Seahawks. The Titans barely.
Yeah, I'll take the
They
Seahawks.
lost
didn't
to the
beat
Texans,
They
dude.
lost to Case Keenum.
Yeah.
But they beat the Dolphins.
Barely.
Yeah, that was kind of
Yeah,
ridiculous, though.
I still, Seahawks still.
Fine. I'll take the Waterbirds, but I'm not confident in this one.
Actually,
Go
the
Titans,
fact
dude.
that
This is a good one.
the fact that I picked the Seahawks means I could be 2-10 picking Titans games.
Oh, shit!
That's right.
Wait. Oh no! Hold on.
This is another December Titans game.
Yeah,
Wait. So he said. So
He's
you're going with the
saying
Seahawks?
I'm going
Yeah.
Seahawks.
All right,
yeah.
I'm going
Right.
Titans.
All right,
Right.
there it is.
Right.
Fair enough.
Swapping.
Fair enough. Colts, Falcons.
Oh man.
I'm gonna take the Falcons.
Oh,
Come on.
I'm gonna take the Colts.
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts.
I need to make up some ground, and I think that everyone thinks the Colts are way better than they actually are.
Yeah,
and I think
I'm going,
the Falcons are gonna remember they're allowed to run the football.
I'm going Falcons as well.
Okay.
Wow.
Greg's going Colts.
Jaguars, Buccaneers.
Oh boy. I
think
think
I'm
it's
gonna-
Bucks, dude.
I think I'm gonna go
I-
Buccaneers too.
I think the Bucks are like one of the hottest teams in the league right now, weirdly.
I'm gonna go Jags. I think they're gonna bring it back.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Bucks too. The assistant coach Greg that's one of his best predicted teams, and it's not like
back to back.
Hey,
Oh.
that's
yeah.
no, I got you with the
it's-
Falcons last game, dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
But the Bucks are one of Greg's best predicted teams. That's a good point.
Yeah, and it's not like that's an easy team to predict.
Yeah,
compared
that's
to
a
like
tough
the
one,
Dolphins
yeah.
and the
It is.
Niners.
It gives me a vote of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys, Dolphins.
He's also quite good at predicting the Dolphins at 11-3.
I'm taking the Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins.
I will take Dolphins as well. Yeah.
Is Tyreek Hill playing?
No.
Yeah, I don't
Probably
think so.
not.
I'm gonna take the Cowboys.
Oh,
Wow.
all right.
Interesting
This
choice.
is
Wow.
either gonna be. I feel like this is a week that I need to take a risk and try to jump
Dude,
in front of the
I-
Discord.
I was gonna like try to make this a week where I gambled against you, but you're doing it for me. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cardinals, Bears.
Boy, I keep picking the fucking Bears, man.
Wait, wasn't there a Cardinals based stat?
I mean, the Bears?
Oh, my Cardinals stat.
yeah, your
Ah,
Cardinal stat.
That's it.
That's right. I'm good at picking them.
Yeah. So what are you taking here?
That's what do you got?
My instinct was Cardinals, so
I think
yeah,
I'm gonna go
fuck it, I'll
Cards
take
too.
Cardinals. Yeah.
All right, I'll
Yeah.
go Cardinals. I'll go with the
Greg,
Rob.
swing Cardinals. You got another 1v4 and you go Apollo?
Yeah, give me the Bears.
Okay.
There it goes. I mean, I can see them still winning. It's the Cardinals.
This is gonna be a fun week, dude.
Yeah.
I'm. This is something. That's for sure.
Apollo's either gonna
rocket
equalize,
ahead. Or,
yeah.
No, dude. Like the weeks like this, we think it's gonna work out like that, but it's just gonna fully balance. Like he's gonna win half the 1v4s.
Right.
Probably.
I'm not gonna
half
lie.
of us are gonna lose our locks.
I kind of want the Packers to lose, and then the Panthers will be 3-12, and they'll be tied with the Patriots and Cardinals if that happens, and then the Bears lose their first overall pick.
That
would be funny.
Pretty funny.
That would be pretty funny.
It'd be a good way to screw the Bears.
Yep.
That's another 1v5. All right, shit.
I
Cards
think
for Greg.
I'm.
You switching? You switching
No,
the Bears?
no.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. I got an idea.
Patriots, Broncos.
Broncos.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna lock the Broncos.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
That's lockable.
Yeah,
Did
they
you
gotta
lock
win.
already, Rob?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not.
Yeah, that's a Broncos sweep. Greg went Broncos too.
Yeah.
Raiders, Chiefs.
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 That's very close to lockable. I don't think I want to lock another division game though.
Yeah.
So yeah, just Chiefs. Chiefs sweep.
Yep. Giants, Eagles.
Eagles.
Oh, locking the Eagles.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Sure.
The thing that I wanted to say. What did I say for the Browns Texans game? Because I'm bad at the Texans, right?
Ravens 49ers.
I'm swapping whatever I said in that game.
You're with me on the Texans then.
He's swapping. Ravens 49ers. Yeah. I'm gonna
Niners.
I'm locking the Niners.
Wow.
I'm locking the Niners. I'm doing it again.
You know what? I'm gonna go Ravens just to try to gain some ground.
Sure.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna look at stats.
This has to be actually my most differently picked week of all time.
Yeah.
Man, I love it. The Niners are his third team predicted at 11-3 this year, by the way, for Greg.
Oh.
Ooh, the Niners have the third best rushing yards per game defense in the league.
Oh, baby. There you go.
I will be going Niners.
All right. Well, we got Randy coming up.
Randy,
Let's see what he does. He's got the Saints.
All right.
Oh.
He's got the Steelers.
Off to the races, Randy.
Yeah. Bills.
Okay.
Commanders. Uh-oh.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to pick Jets. I'm actually swapping to the Jets.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's right. He has the word.
Wait, can we
I'm
do
swapping to the Jets.
All right, I'll swap too.
Come on. God
You
damn
guys
it.
are gonna give me a 1v.
It's the Randy curse, dude.
You got the Commanders 1v4 now, don't you? God damn it. No, I feel like I should switch back. Fuck.
The Lions, the Texans, the Panthers, the Seahawks, the Falcons, the Buccaneers, the Cowboys, the Bears,
Go Bears.
the Broncos, the Raiders,
Oh, jeez.
the Eagles, and the 49ers.
All right.
And the Randy lock is he's locking the Niners.
Oh, all right then.
Oh boy.
A little boring, dude.
That's
Otherwise, though, this is like I'm in the fantasy semifinals, and this is easily going to be like one of the most impactful standing weeks for pick'ems. Like, oh, this is exciting, dude.
It's gonna
I'm
be a
ready.
swing week. We're swinging for the fences here.
Hell
Also, I
yeah.
apologize, Pixel Haven, for jumping back and forth between picks.
It's gonna be on the
And,
fence for the
us as
actual.
Yeah.
Well, that'll do it for us this week. Thanks for listening, watching, whatever you're doing. Here's all the patrons right there. Look at
Thank
that.
you,
Now I just got them
patrons.
up there. Thank you very much. Go
Appreciate
check it
that
out.
support.
Thanks for the
On the show.
support.
Thank you.
And we will see you next week.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm just letting them play it out. All right, now we're stopping it. Now we're